to 200 miles an hour.
My gosh.
Jim Cantori is on right now, and he's standing. I mean, he is just as hunkered down as he could be. He's wearing a baseball helmet. There's a big old gust of wind right there. And Naples, Florida is having some massive flooding issues. They showed a picture just a few minutes ago of a street that had some cars on it, and you can just make out the roof of the cars. They're submerged in water. So this is a pretty big storm, and it is. And the thing is that the eye wall has not made landfall just yet.
Yeah.
The eye wall is hovering just over Fort Myers right now, and they said that they're to expect maybe a few minutes of sunshine as the eye wall passes over, and then the worst of the storm is that backside of that eye wall. And that's where the concern is right now.
All right, we'll keep following that. But when it comes to football, no football in the Tampa area on Saturday, so it has moved to Boca Raton, Florida, on the kind of southeastern side of Florida there, and the game time moved from 7 o'clock to 2:30. So that's where we are right now as far as football on Saturday, which means our pregame coverage gets underway 10:30 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll be with you, getting you ready for that 2:30 kickoff. All right, we are up on Facebook Live and on YouTube. You can check us out there. Make sure you chime in, smash the like, and let us know what you'd like to discuss on this Wednesday. As far as other games being played this weekend, have not seen. So there's college football that are. We're seeing some schedule changes there. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Chiefs, and if they are to move that game, as of right now, the game is scheduled for Raymond James Stadium. But if they do move the game, it will be played in Minnesota. Where, Chandler? Minnesota, because I guess the Vikings are playing in London this weekend, so they're going to just go up there and play the game there. So that's an if right now, if that is to be rescheduled. I've seen some talks about what they're going to do about Braves and Mets. It is a crucial series when it comes to the baseball standings, because the Braves win last night, Mets lose, so they are tied once again in the NL East. And with the regular season coming down to the wire here, that series has got to get in somehow, some way. Could be some double headers coming up. I haven't seen anything about moving the game, so we'll have to move in the series. We'll have to wait and see on that. So a lot is up in the air here as we sit midweek, and decisions will need to be made here in the next 24, 48 hours when it comes to all this stuff. So keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, a lot of moving around going on in sports. So, but we're still looking at any updates on ECU versus South Florida. As of right now, the update is what it was yesterday. We've already several posts have been made, especially a nice video with our green screen yesterday, letting you know that it is no longer in Tampa. It will be in Boca Raton at the home of FAU, and they are the Owls. And it is no longer 7 o'clock. It will be at 2:30. So
very proud of you.
Yeah. So home, and Willie Taggart letting South Florida, who fired him, great hospitality there from Willie Taggart.
Now, I think you're wrong. Pretty sure he left South Florida to take
Oregon?
the Oregon job.
Okay. That's right.
That is right.
That's right.
I'm going to be right on this one. Which has got to be someone wrong.
And it's me. It's me.
It's unfortunate.
It's me.
It works out that way. But that's how it works out.
It's Charlie Strong that got fired from South Florida.
Yeah. Now
I'm on the right track. All
right. Let's have a quick YouTube discussion. It says we're waiting for 301 September 28, 2022. Are you watching on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Why am I not watching? Am I a boomer? Oh, no.
Right, try that right there.
Chandler.
Try that right there.
Chandler, I'm a boomer.
Try that right there.
Oh,
did you click the wrong one?
No, I clicked the right one. I guess I clicked it too early. guy, the bigger guy. I hate saying that. Can't you just have a name? Can I use a name? I'm just call you John.
The bigger guy.
Hey, bigger guy. John says, can we interview Cliff and see what he thinks about the weather?
You're giving him the name John?
Yeah, his name's
John.
Yeah. Good question, John.
I don't care about the weather. I can't control the weather. Don't want to talk about the weather.
Not a weather guy. It's a good thing Cliff doesn't play in hurricane season, or we might have to bring this up even more than we do.
Oh, my gosh.
But it is in spring shower season, so we
Coach,
always
there's a
get those
hurricane
rain and
coming.
storms.
I don't care about the weather. Don't ask me about the weather.
There was some news, and let me see if I can pull this up real quick, regarding Cliff and the baseball team and the Pirates Unite campaign. Longtime Pirate Club members Sarah and Dick Bennett have invested $1 million into the Pirates Unite campaign. It'll be the lead gift for the new baseball building expansion. So that came out today. That is awesome to hear.
About a week removed since Cliff Godwin donated $100,000 to the Pirates Unite campaign.
In the release, it says, today's announcement, another significant milestone in the Pirates Unite campaign. More than $10 million has been generated since the launch in May. So that is awesome. Thanks to Sarah and Dick Bennett for their investment into ECU athletics and to Pirate baseball.
And it will continue to grow. I have a good feeling as people will follow suit and the dominoes will fall.
That's a good...
And the money will rise.
Good prediction there.
The money will rise.
You got to rise to it.
Got to rise to the standard.
All right, what we do every Wednesday, myself, Chandler, and CJ pick a top 25 team in college football to lose and a top 10 team in college football to lose on the year. So we have done this for 4 weeks. I'm 5-3 overall. Chandler is 5-3 overall, and CJ, going 2-0 last week, is 5-3 overall. CJ had Arkansas losing to A&M.
Yes.
A&M.
Sure.
A&M. And had Wake Forest, or Weak Florist, as I call them, losing to Clemson.
And I had the opposite of that game.
You had Wake beating Clemson, but Chandler, I'll give you props. You picked an upset. Texas Tech to beat Texas.
Yes.
Well done, my friend.
Red Rebels, baby.
I had Florida losing to Tennessee, and I had USC losing, which I came close to that one, but they did not beat Oregon State. John has made the name change to John. What's up, John?
Hey, John.
Attaboy, Johnny
Bigger
boy.
guy, John.
Hey, Johnny.
Bigger guy, John.
So, yeah, if you want to chime in, please do on Facebook and YouTube. All right. I almost went back to the old well and picked 2 top 10 teams to lose this week because there are some options. There's 2, maybe 3 top 10 teams that are underdogs this week. So it's a tasty week in that regard. But I only picked 1 top 10 and 1 top 25 to lose. So Chandler, CJ, you won last week. So let's start with you. Who's your top 10 team going down this week?
My top 10 team going down is in a top 10 matchup. I will take NC State to fall to Clemson.
All right, Chandler, who is your top 10 team to lose this week in college football?
Ole Miss is a 7-point favorite at home against Kentucky. I like Lane Kiffin and the Rebels. Give me the Rebels over the Wildcats.
How crazy is it that Kentucky is 7th in the country?
7th in the country, and they are +7 dogs on the road.
All right. CJ, my top 10 team to lose this week is the North Carolina State Wolfpack. CJ, who is your top 25 team to lose this week?
This one almost feels like it's on a silver platter, but I just have to take it. We're going to go Alabama over number 20 Arkansas. Despite being on the road, they are 17.5-point favorites. I've
taken silver platter games before. I did it week 1, where you guys went away from silver platter games. You wanted a challenge. I will not be silver plattering this week.
Okay.
But I will certainly allow y'all to do the smart thing and to do it. Chandler, who's your team?
This has been a sad scene, what has been going on at the Rose Bowl on the West Coast. Nobody's showing up to the games, yet the Bruins are 4-0 on the season.
Yeah.
They're playing Washington this week at the Rose Bowl. I think the fans show up. I think UCLA shows up. They are a 2.5 home dog, but I'm going the Bruins over The Huskies. Give me UCLA.
To beat Washington?
To beat Washington, who is 15th ranked in the country.
All right. So not taking the Silver Platter game this week. I, too, am going away from the Silver Platter. In fact, I'm taking a 7-point favorite that is the top 25 team. I think they're a bit fraudulent. Fugazi, maybe you'd say, if you watch Donnie Brasco.
Yeah.
I'm taking Wake Forest to knock off Florida State.
I like that pick.
I
like that pick.
Thanks, Chandler.
I like that pick. Wake on the road. Disappointing loss of the Tigers at home last week.
They're about to put up a boatload of points against the Seminoles. Give me Wake over the Noles.
The total in that game. Do you like the total? 65.
I was going to guess.
Sorry.
I mean, every Wake game is going to look like that. And Florida State's pretty good. I've watched them a couple times this year. But give me Wake. And when is that game?
3:30.
3:30 on ABC.
That's what it says, but is that when it's going to be played?
Oh, I see what you're
That's
saying.
a good question.
So no change to that one as of yet. 3:30 ABC. And no change to Clemson NC State as of yet. I think we might see some changes once the hurricane goes through, and you got to see the destruction and everything that it causes. There might be some movements here, but we'll see. By the way, we were talking earlier. Now I don't know what Robert is kind of referring to. He says, "Why disagree? Wake runs complex offense." What are you disagreeing with, Robert? Let us know. You got to be more specific than that. The Hurricane's path, is it still supposed to kind of go all the way through Florida and then do another zag out northwest so it ends up in the mountains?
Let's go to Shirley with the weather.
North Carolina.
It has shifted slightly eastward. Originally, they had
We don't want that.
they had it more towards Boone. Now it's showing it's shifting a little bit further east, and it looks like maybe it could hit Charlotte head on. But as it stands right now, that's kind of where the trajectory is.
Where are the Panthers this week, home or away?
Oh, at home. 4 o'clock against the Cardinals.
Yeah. That's going to,
And look, by the time it gets here, it might be rain and 30-mile-per-hour wind,
Yeah, it might be just
devastating conditions,
right.
but tough to be outside in, I would think.
Yeah.
Play a football game.
Yeah, but we're going to keep a close eye on it because, of course, the spaghetti models have it kind of going all over the place. And it really depends. Really, it depends on what happens after it crosses over Florida and it gets into the Atlantic Ocean, because it could re-intensify if it slows down long enough to sit over that water. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's still a little too early to tell.
All right, we'll keep an eye on those spaghetti models. CJ, favorite Italian dish?
Ooh, I will go Alfredo, shrimp. What am I thinking? Shrimp scampi.
Okay, over a bed of noodles.
Yeah.
Is that Italian?
That's a good question.
I think that's a
maybe
seafood
I think
dish.
I might have just thought noodles and said, yeah, that's Italian.
Favorite Italian dish? Cheeseburger.
Pizza. That's actually
American pizza? Yeah. I guess Robert's disagreeing with my Wake pick. Robert, they're a 7-point underdog. It's an upset pick. Okay, a lot of people probably disagree with it.
We're going off the beaten path, Robert.
That's the
We're going off
point.
the beaten path.
I have balls. Okay?
We're going off the beaten path.
Fettuccine Alfredo for me.
Oh, yeah, I'm going with you, Shirley. Chicken Alfredo.
My favorite Italian dish is probably sweet and sour chicken from a Chinese restaurant. That is Italian.
I would like to add, Google tells me that it is indeed an Italian-American dish.
Oh,
All right.
wow. Shrimp scampi.
So we're going with it. Yes,
All right.
yeah. We're going with it.
You're a bit of a scamp over there yourself.
What is?
Whoa.
Okay, at the risk of
Watch your
asking a
language.
really stupid question, what is scampi?
That's a good question.
CJ, Google that up, please. Susan Dean says, hashtag fire Matt Rule. Chandler, you were doing some kind of bit character thing this week where you're defending Matt Rule.
Yeah, that's all a joke, and that is a bit. I still think Matt Rule is a loser, complete loser. But I had fun with the, he's the best. Let's lighten up. He's back. Matt Rule is back.
Oh, can you pull up the Spanish call for
yes.
the LaVisca
Hasta la visca!
Chenault touchdown? Do we have an update on Scampi?
Yes.
Scampi is large shrimp or prawn, especially when prepared or cooked.
All right, I thought it had something to do with like the sauce or whatever.
Me too, but that's
#me
that's
too.
why we look it up.
Wait, what is it? I thought it was something with lobster because I thought that was what I saw in the description.
No, I'm really confused. I
Right
mean,
there.
it says
Yeah, but shrimp scampi has nothing to do with lobster.
No, I was reading the
oh wow, there's actually there's-
Norway lobster.
Yeah.
It is another name. Scampi can be called a Norway lobster, but it's a large shrimp.
I read one definition and she read the second one, so there are two definitions of scampi.
Robert says go back to college.
I'm not sure they have a Italian American dish class in college.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear the Espanol call of the LaVisca Chenault. What is this, a catch and run from Sunday?
Yes.
All right, play it, Chandler.
Baker manda sus números, tiene tiempo, se deshace de la pelota, le entrega. La Vizca va a romper por fuera. ¡Vamos! ¡La viste! ¡Vamos! A la 15, a la 20, a la 10, a la 5. ¡Métete la Vizca! ¡Hasta la Vizca! ¡Métete la Vizca! ¡Hasta la Vizca! ¡Hasta la vista! ¡Touchdown! 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 ¡Touchdown!
But how many times are they going to say touchdown?
Hasta la vista, con vértices serpentinas, con fuegos artificiales, con chispas encendidas. Báilale, báilale, báilale. Y si vas a bailar.
All right.
Hasta la visca, baby.
Why are the Spanish calls so much
They're
better?
the best.
Like every Spanish announcer is Gus Johnson.
I just
How do you say
I need to
speed in
go back
Spanish?
and count how many times he said. I just want to count how many times he said touchdown.
He's got getting away from the policia speed. Rapido.
Speed! Michael Winstead, he's chiming in on the Italian dish talk. 4 cheese lasagna with ground beef.
Man,
Ooh.
lasagna is my fave. Susan Dean says shrimp scampi is small shrimp and herb butter. I think that's what I'm thinking. But we got definitions saying large shrimp. We got small shrimp.
Which one is it?
We need
Bang bang shrimp.
Bubba Gump in here to let us know the truth of the matter. All right. Anything else here on the rundown before we move along? Chandler.
We're not a bunch of hockey people, but preseason started. Canes get a preseason win, 5-1.
Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't want to tweet about a hurricane crushing Tampa last night.
Ooh,
Yeah.
well played, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. Nobody else thought about that?
Nope.
When
nope.
the Canes beat the Lightning? All I think of was a headline saying Hurricanes crushed Tampa Bay. Like a little too soon. Not soon enough.
Very much so.
Too early. That is back. And then the Hornets, Chandler.
Hornets.
They play when?
I believe intern Pete, who is also a huge, he's a Charlotte sports fan in itself.
What's up,
He is from
Pete?
Charlotte. He said that it should be later on at the end of the week.
First preseason game is 6 a.m. on Thursday. Where is this at? The Warriors are playing the Wizards.
6 a.m.
Must be overseas somewhere.
Oh,
And the Hornets will play on Sunday against
Yep.
the Celtics.
Sunday.
So, by the way, Kelly Oubre is on the roster, so I'm back.
yes, I
Count
know.
me in.
I did. I was scrolling Instagram the other day, and I saw that at Media Day, and this must be popular throughout the NBA and maybe sports in general. But the tiny mic, the players like grab a tiny mic and they interview other players. And I looked and I was like, because last year he had the blonde noodle hair. He's gone back to a darker side. So at first I was like, wait a minute, that's Kelly Oubre. That's Mr. Chef's Kiss.
And this is what we get excited about with Hornets basketball. Kelly Oubre's hair, because there's not much else to. Well, I mean, look.
So when I saw that, because I remembered last week I brought up Hornets basketball, and you said the only way you were going to get back on track is to know where is Kelly Oubre. Is he with the Hornets or not?
Yeah.
And when I saw that post, I said, I got to show it to Clip, because not only are the Hornets back, but Clip is back.
I'm
with the
back
Hornets.
for another crap season with no playoffs. Count me in.
Count me in, baby. I'm in.
Board. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got to get our Flight by Yingling practice report. And I tell you what, you want to go hoops? We'll do a basketball practice report.
Let's do it.
We'll hear from Mike Schwartz when we return on PRL on a Wednesday. We're back with you after this. Warren's Hot Dog Pizza. Homemade lemonade.
Hungry for game day, Pirate Nation? Take advantage of the Warren's Hot Dogs tailgate special of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.50 each. And the best part, this special is available every day. Just call ahead and Warren's will have your order ready to go. Hungry for breakfast? Warren's Hot Dogs in Chocowinity opens at 5 a.m. with cheese biscuits, chicken biscuits, sausage dogs, and more. Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers, or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Go Pirates!
Pirate fans, ECU basketball is just around the corner and season tickets are now on sale. A new era begins on the men's side with first-year head coach Mike Schwartz at the helm. Season tickets are on sale for as low as $125. On the women's side, in-state rivals Wake Forest and UNC Wilmington will come to Minji's Coliseum. Season tickets on sale now for as low as $45. To get those tickets, call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com.
Are you ready for some football, Pirate Nation? Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times this football season, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Get ready to have fun this season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar with daily specials. And here's the lineup. Mondays feature $7 margaritas and half-price appetizers. Tuesday is stuffed seafood night. Wednesday is date night. Thursday is roasted smoked lamb chop night. Fridays is prime rib night. And Saturday is Italian night and is also Fred and Wilma night with our 36-ounce bone-in tomahawk steak just like the Flintstones. And on Sunday, it's our legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
It's summer's last hurrah, and at Bostic Sugg Furniture, we're ending it in style with 3 ways to save on the most fashionable looks for your home. Save double the sales tax, plus 6 months special financing, plus 20% off accessories to complete the look. Change your mattress, change your life. Buy a mattress, get up to 48 months special financing. Plus, visit Facebook and ask about our Hot Buy store-wide. The sun may be setting on summer, but not the savings at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. State Farm agent Tim Sawyer and his team are having a virtual quoting event this Thursday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Want a free quote on your home, auto, or life insurance? Call Tim and his team at 493-0002 to get a quote in less than 5 minutes. To get great coverage with great rates, call your local State Farm agent Tim Sawyer this Thursday at 493-0002. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back into Pirate Radio Live. A virtual quoting event. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tim Sawyer.
Take advantage tomorrow.
When I hear Tim Sawyer, I think first great rates.
What else do you think of?
Tom Sawyer by Rush.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, when I think of Tim Sawyer, I think it's something different. I think of good guy. He's a good guy.
Tough league.
Good guy.
He's in a tough. Insurance is a tough league.
That's a tough business.
Yeah.
But good guy.
Good guy.
Good coverage.
Good coverage.
Good insurance agent.
Good agent.
Good rates.
Good rates. And then fifth, Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
What you say about his company?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's something I don't like. I love Tim Sawyer.
I love Tim Sawyer, too.
Something I don't like is when you say something and you're just talking amongst your friends, colleagues, I wouldn't call none of us friends. We work together. We're forced to be here together.
I disagree. I think we're friends. I think we're good friends.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. In fact, if I don't ever see any of you outside of this building, I would be perfectly fine with that, and I would prefer it that way.
Gee, Clip, that's awesome. That is great to know.
I'm kidding, of course. You're talking to your amigos, and then I start scrolling through Facebook during the break. And, hey, I'm Facebook friends with Jenny. It's Pete's birthday.
Pete who?
Ballot.
Oh.
I know this person. And then I have suggested for you Cajun shrimp scampi.
Oh.
Why? I don't know why you're laughing diabolically, Shirley. They're listening to us. They're in our phones. They're in our brains. They're in our veins. They're everywhere.
That is scary.
It's scary.
That's very scary. That's scary.
Alexa, play Shrimp Scampi. I don't know what that does. Why is Shrimp Scampi all showing up on my phone now?
It happens all the time.
I just wanted to talk about it.
It's those algorithms, brother.
I want to go to my Facebook just to see. And I swear, if anything pops
shall
up.
we both look?
Oh, my gosh.
On Chandler's.
Jury selection underway in 2020 death.
On Chandler's, it's going to say hot dudes and tanks.
Why is there a Speedo commercial?
That would be on your feed, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about your feed?
Yeah, it's not on. I have nothing on. Oh, my gosh.
What you got? What's on yours?
We just talked about Tim Sawyer.
Yeah.
I just got an ad for Sawyer's Fun Park.
They're listening, bro. They are in our phones. We can't get away from it, man. We're going to have to start doing this show like live from the woods in the middle of nowhere. So the people...
They're still going to hear us. They're everywhere.
You think they'll hear us there?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Dang, man. It's scary.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. All right, well, let's get our Flight by Yingling practice report. The next generation of light beer. By the way, let us know your conspiracy theories. We'd love to talk about them today on the show. The next generation of light beer. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, available wherever beer is sold. We got a couple interviews with some football players we can hit, but nothing too much new on the football front since yesterday. So let's get a little hoops in today on the Flight by Yingling ECU report and hear from Mike Schwartz. He talked yesterday to the media. Day one of ECU basketball practice. Let's hear part of that.
Coach, once you get started, how things are looking right now preseason?
Well, it's an exciting time. This is a good time of year, I think, around the country. Everyone's really excited to have the first day of practice. Some teams actually started yesterday, but because of the way the days work out for us, you get 30 opportunities to practice or scrimmage within a 42-day period before your first game. So practice number one, we're ready for the next step. We've had summer, fall, and now we're here in the regular season. It's great.
You guys have had workouts. How has kind of the acclimation process been through that period? Do you feel like you're in a decent spot going into practice?
Yeah, I hope we're in a better than decent spot, but we're going to get healthy right now. Hopefully, we've been a little banged up through the fall. A couple injuries that were nagging at the end of summer kind of lingered into the fall. Feel like we're getting back there right now, Stephen. And the biggest thing that we tried to establish is what we wanted to do on the defensive end this fall. And the conditioning aspect of the pace of play that we want on both sides of the ball. So I think we're getting close, but we have such a long way to go, obviously, and today we start the next chapter.
Seems like recruiting's gone pretty good early on here, especially considering you haven't played a game yet.
Yeah, I mean, recruiting is always just, it's the bloodline of any program, and so that never stops, and it doesn't matter if you're in the off-season, the summer, the preseason, it doesn't make a difference. Recruiting doesn't stop in terms of trying to do what's best for the program and making sure that our guys and our staff does such a great job getting out there and evaluating and getting a chance to, see potentially future players, your future student athletes, and so that's been nice that we've gotten off to a good start.
New staff, so many new players. Like each day of practice feels like it's going to be so valuable, not only for you guys, but the players to kind of establish themselves. Is that kind of the message right now?
Yeah, and I don't think we're anywhere near having a rotation what we want. I think we're still at the point where everybody is competing, and competition is what we need to be about. Every day we have to find a way to get better. Every day we have to find a way to compete at a higher and higher level. Nothing's been established through the summer and through the fall. Some guys have had stronger summers than others, and some guys have made some headway. But in terms of what's been established, I think we have a really long way to go.
Coach, what's the status of Winston Tabbs? How's his recovery been looking like?
He's getting there. He has not been fully cleared yet, but he is back working out, and he's on the court, and he's doing really well. It's just going to take some time to get him back on the court in live play and in terms of bone-on-bone contact stuff.
Coach, you guys showed some new uniforms off last week, kind of to a lot of fanfare with the script across the front. Was that something that was already in development before you got here, or is that something your team put together?
I think that script has been here forever. I think that's something that's great about ECU. I think what we did as a program and as a staff is we tapped back into it. We really loved it. We loved the color combination. We loved the script. So we went ahead and moved forward with that. But as far as the script, by no means are we responsible for that. That's ECU, and that's this great logo and brand that this university has, and we were fortunate enough to take advantage of it.
You guys seem pretty fired up about it. Were they excited about the change?
I think so. I think hopefully we can play as good as we think we look.
Was that a Lakers combo? Was that just by accident? It just happened?
I don't know if it's by accident, but here's what I'd say. I think the Lakers have a great uniform. I think we have the best colors there are in college athletics in the purple and gold. So we were able to mesh the two, and it worked out that way.
You talked a lot about defense. Have any guys shown ability to score consistently in workouts this far from your team yet?
Yeah, there's been guys. We've had guys that have had more consistent stretches scoring the basketball. I mean, if just specifically, I think Javon's had a really good summer and fall scoring the basketball. Quentin DeBunge has had a good, when he missed a little bit with a slight injury, but when he was in there, he scored the ball pretty well. I think Caleb, the freshman from Los Angeles, has done a nice job scoring the basketball. And, some different guys have stepped up here and there. Benjamin Baella has done a good job scoring the ball. RJ Felton went through a good spell this summer, but it has not been as consistent as we hope it's going to get. But again, defensively is where our focus has been early.
Are these first few practices really just kind of about, internal competition as well, and just, even for you, just to kind of get a good sense of what these guys can do?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to stop, whether it's the first two practices or whether we're in mid-season in January in AAC play. I think competition is always going to be at the core of what we're doing in terms of the guys. I don't think anybody can ever get comfortable in terms of where they're at. That's coaching staff, that's players. I think we're always evaluating, but there's no doubt about it. Anytime you go from the preseason to the regular season, I think competition goes to another level, because I think the guys know that minutes and playing time and rotation it's close now. I mean, we're 42 days away from playing our first game.
How are you doing trying to build chemistry on the fly within this team?
You know what? I don't know if you can have this blueprint other than spending a lot of time together, which we do as a team. We spend a lot of time together as a staff with our players. It's more than just being on the court, and it's also on the court beyond practice. So I think it's got to happen a little bit naturally, and hopefully it's happened that way. We've done things outside of practice where we've done team events, but this is the fun part. The fun part is trying to build that culture, build that team unity, and hopefully we have a good cohesive group right now.
You talked about Tabs. Is there a chance it could be ready, like by the end of this year? Is it more like looking towards like January, February, like that sort of time frame for him to be back?
You know, I think we tried early, Stephen, to pinpoint a day or a time, and I think we're not quite there yet. I think hopefully we'd love for him to be ready early in non-conference play. Just don't know yet kind of when he takes that next step, when he gets on the court with the guys, and I don't think we're too far away from that, but in terms of his readiness to compete and be in full contact, I think we'll just have to wait and see right now.
How's the competition going at point guard, or like who do you expect to compete there for playing time?
I think right now, the guys that have kind of established themselves as a point guard on this roster have been Javon Small plays a lot of the point in the off-season so far. Caleb LeCount has played a lot of point guard, and Jaden Walker, who's been dealing with a couple nagging injuries, and he should be coming back real soon. He plays on the ball some, but I think all three guys have the ability to play on and off the ball, so we may have to do it a little bit by committee where we have multiple guys, but I would also love to have 2 or 3 point guards on the floor at the same time, so it's something that I think that could be the bonus part about it.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, but on the other end of the ball, centers, how are your big men developing as far as guys in the paint?
Yeah, that's probably, you look on paper, obviously, where we're our thinnest in the front court at the 5. We have Luigi, and Luigi is a true center, and he's got the experience. But after that, we're really young. We're young. We have mostly freshmen in at that spot. Brandon Johnson's had a good, off-season camp in the summer and in the fall, playing at the 4 spot. But that's gonna be something that I don't know if we'll hit our full stride with where we're at in the front court until we get closer to our first game, and who knows, maybe even in the conference play. But between Ezra Osar and Valentino Pinedo and Elijah Jones and Brandon Johnson and Luigi, those 5 guys, and very likely we're going to have to size down a little bit and play one of our bigger wings at the 4 spot and go that kind of route, and but that can be an advantage too. We just have to get to that.
How do you feel the buy-in has been out of the guys so far, Coach?
Fantastic. I feel really excited about that. If the results are what the buy-in has been, then it's going to be a great year.
Do you take your guys around maybe some of the other programs here, maybe to a football game or just to being around those type of environments?
Yeah, absolutely. I think being a part of other ECU athletics and being around other coaches and other student athletes, I think this is what it's about. This is what college is about. So, yeah, absolutely. We've been to multiple football games together. I know our guys have been to baseball games back in the spring when the baseball team was on their run. So I think this what makes this place special is that there's this unbelievable camaraderie amongst the community, the student athletes, within the university, and our guys take full advantage of it, and we as coaches do too.
How are you adjusting to Greenville?
I love it. Greenville's an awesome place, and I'm just excited that we're here September 27th, practice number 1, and I feel like November 8th is right around the corner.
What do you think the atmosphere is going to be like November 8th for your first game? We'll see what it's like for the first practice here. Kind of calm. What do you think the first game will be like?
I hope it is a gold out. I hope we got 8,000 people in here, the whole building being in gold, and that's what we're going to push for.
Coach, speaking at season tickets are now on sale. So how do you get Pirate Nation? You were talking about the buy-in for the team, which is going well, which is awesome. What about for Pirate Nation? How do we get fans here?
Well, hopefully that they're excited about this ball club, and our student athletes more than anything. Hopefully they're just excited to come see them. That there's 6 returning guys, and guys have not been able to see Winston Tabbs yet on the court, and hopefully sooner than later he will be. I think we got an exciting group of young guys, whether it be freshmen or transfers, that hopefully the community is excited about. We have as awesome of a student fan base as there is, so hopefully that kind of gets the ball rolling, and and kind of the general fan base wants to come in here, and they know we're going to have a great student section. But you just look at football, you look at what Coach Houston's doing, you look at soccer, you look at what Coach Higgins is doing, you look at what baseball and what they did in the spring. So we got a great fan base. Now we got to do our job and get them in here and get excited so they enjoy their time when they're in Minji's.
With Ezra Osar, we kind of know his talent level, at least coming out of high school. How has his transition been, early in college workouts?
It's been good. I think with Ezra, the biggest thing is that he can't just rely solely on his physical ability to have success. And I think that's all freshmen. I think all freshmen that are at this level are here because they've had success. They've had success in high school. They've had success in club basketball. So Ezra is very physically gifted. He's made good strides. He's gotten better and better. But there's another level mentally that I know he wants to get to. There's another level execution-wise. There's another level when you realize you're on the court with guys with the same physical attributes you have, the same size, the same athleticism. But that's no different than any freshman in the country. And Ezra's doing a good job with that, and we need him to. We need him to continue to want to grow where hopefully by January we don't look at any of our freshmen that are playing as freshmen because we're going to need some impact from them.
You've seen a lot of these players just mostly on film or even recruiting. So when you get to see them with your own eyes, what kind of things are you looking for when you can see them up close and personal?
In terms of the guys that are here now? Yeah, a couple of the things that are a little bit more difficult to evaluate in recruiting is how consistently hard someone plays, their effort, their tenacity, their intensity. Some of those things, you can see it when you're watching a game and you go to a practice, but we get to see it every day now. We get to see it when they're having good days, when they're not having a good day, when they're struggling with something, when they got something off the court that might be distracting them. And I think that's when you really realize. So I think across the country, everybody's trying to get their teams to understand that when you step in between the lines, when you get to practice, whatever's going on off the court, which all of our student athletes in all sports have a lot going, that they have to find a way to be locked in physically, mentally, and the maximum effort. And that's where you got to grow as a team because no team has it figured out yet.
Were you pretty happy with how the schedule came together? I know you had a lot of work to do when you took the job, but you're pretty happy with that?
Yeah, excited about the schedule. I think it's going to be a great non-conference schedule. I think the mentality is always a really strong non-conference schedule to try and get us ready for one of the toughest conferences in America when we get to conference play come December 28th versus Temple. So I think absolutely, we wanted to have a challenging schedule. We hope we have strong home games. We have strong road games. We have a neutral game. We have a tournament to go play in Florida. So we hope it prepares us for a really rigorous conference schedule.
Mike Schwartz fired up, ready to go year one, ECU head basketball coach. And a couple of things there. Stephen Igoe is hyping up Ezra Osar. I'll have to get the pronunciation of his name when Igoe joins us at 5 o'clock, but we'll ask him why he's so excited about that young man. Also, it was pretty comical that Troy D asked what he expects the Minjies to be like, and Mike Schwartz said, I want a gold out, everybody in gold. So Troy already being told what to wear to Minjies, and I can't wait to get his thoughts on that Thursday when he joins us here on Pirate Radio Live. So there was Mike Schwartz on our Flight by Yuengling practice report. Next generation of light beer. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling, wherever beer is sold. We'll continue on with our practice report and switch over to football when we return and hear from East Carolina wide receiver Jalen Johnson. Monster game against the Monarchs of Old Dominion. Found the end zone against Campbell. And we'll get his thoughts on the first 4 games of this East Carolina season. We'll hear from the Pirate wide receiver when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night along with football. Monday is open mic night the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
Beauty Bar Medi Spa wants to know if you are ready to fall into beauty October 7th through the 14th. All services and products will be on sale. Botox, filler, painless laser hair removal, facials, RF microneedling, rejuvenating laser treatments to treat brown spots, wrinkles, texture, veins, and skin tightening. And now, the only facility in the area to offer non-surgical under-eye fat pad treatments. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome prices on boats from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you.
Pabst is the place where friends come to gather. A place where the party naturally goes. A place where someone is microwaving a burrito. A place where... a kitchen. It's a kitchen. Pabst Blue Ribbon. This is the place.
Hey, Pirate fans, get stocked up for tailgating season with PBR at your favorite retailer. Look for the QR code on the PBR display and register for a chance to win a pizza oven. Game day or any day, all Pirates prefer PBR.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi, totally back. Your perfectly placed football watching corner seat, back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. UniversitySportswearENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, UniversitySportswearENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit UniversitySportswearENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. UniversitySportswearENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Drive a little and save a lot at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They have a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Plus, they offer service to all makes and models in a state-of-the-art facility. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington, or you can go online at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. I have not done any research on this, and I'll just assume it to be true for the sake of this segment and we being at Pirate Radio. Trevor Lawrence is the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Quarterback, Jacksonville Jaguars. Shirley, who was the last Jaguars player to be AFC Offensive Player of the Week?
I'm just going to throw it out there, Gardner Minshew.
Interesting guess. Chandler, what do you got?
Blake Bortles.
All right. I was thinking maybe a MJD in all those years. But, and again, I have not researched this at all. This is from somebody on Twitter who was not affiliated with East Carolina. I think affiliated with the Jaguars. Said the last Jaguar to be named AFC Offensive Player of the Week was David Garrard.
See, I was going to say David Garrard.
God, that's a long time.
But that's what I was saying. Like, I was thinking that it's been at least before the David Garrard days.
I wonder if I Google
the last Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Holy cow! They haven't had one in that long.
Holy cow!
Wow.
Okay. Just to put it in perspective, name the last Miami Dolphin that was an Offensive Player of the Week.
Well, it probably was last week. Either Tua, Tyreek, or Waddle.
Oh, yeah.
Had to be.
I'm talking about prior to this year.
Ricky Williams?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Probably Ricky Williams.
Dan Marino.
Was Brandon Marshall good down there? Did he play there, or did I make that up?
I don't know.
Probably Ricky Williams. Yeah, I'll see if I can find out if that is true or not. But if so, that is a long time ago. Players of the Week, Pro Football Reference. Oh,
is that a reference?
This is a reference. And this goes back a long ways. David Garrard, and this is what it said, 2010. So that would be, I think that might be right. I'm surprised like Maurice Jones-Drew or somebody didn't get it. Or like one of the Minshew Mania weeks or something. But anyway, there's that. All right, back to our Flight by Yingling practice report. Shirley, let's hear from Jalen Johnson. He met with the media yesterday. Jalen, in his first year here at East Carolina, coming over from Georgia. And, you know, he had some questions just because he didn't get on the field a lot. And it makes sense. You've got all those blue chippers and stars down there in Athens. And Jalen kind of waiting for his moment. And it was not going to happen there in Georgia. So he transferred here. And, again, we saw him go off in the game against Old Dominion, and he scored a touchdown against Campbell on the year. Jalen Johnson has 15 catches, 188 yards, and 1 score. And here he is with the media on Tuesday.
Jalen, how's the team bounced back from what was clearly a difficult loss Saturday?
I feel like, you got to just be in the moment. Obviously, it was a disappointing loss. We know we should have won that game, but with practice being on Sundays, it is after the game. We don't got time to sit around and pout. We're on the USF and trying to get a win.
Is it nice to have that? Because even in a win, you can also kind of move on, but in a loss, you can sort of do the same thing. Is it just nice to watch that?
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing about having practice the next day, and just we get to watch the film, clean up the mistakes, figure out what we did right, what we did wrong, and then we're just on to the next.
Watching Navy, they do so much different stuff defensively. Like, what can y'all learn from seeing a team play y'all like that, where they're doing so much stuff on the defensive side of the ball?
I feel like with a team like that, you just gotta take what they give you, because they're trying to eliminate the big plays, the deep down the field. Obviously they know that we've got weapons all over the offense, so I'm pretty sure that was their game plan, just to stop us, like eliminate the big plays. And I guess you could say it worked for most of the game, but now we just got to know that when they do give us the opportunity, when we got man coverage or when they don't have high safeties, we got to just take our shots. I feel like we got to land them.
Did it feel like you guys were able to start breaking through? Because in that fourth quarter and even overtime, you guys were finding some points. Like, did it just feel like finally something was clicking?
Yeah, I feel like we got going a little bit late in the game, but I feel like it was good just to face that adversity. Because nobody ever gave up on each other, and then we were always like having a good mindset, positive mindset, thinking about what we can do. And now I think that with that game, we'll learn how to start even faster, even with teams who are playing us like that.
What have you watched film from South Florida? What have you seen that might be different from Navy?
I feel like they play a lot more man coverage. Like, they trust their athletes more. They're gonna put their corners on islands, because I guess they've got belief in their defensive players, as they should. They recruited them for a reason. So I feel like they just play more true, like man, single high. They're just giving you the opportunities. Somebody's got to make a play, either him or me.
Do you look kind of forward to being in that one-on-one a little more often?
Oh, yeah. I look forward to that a lot. As a receiver, you got to love man coverage, because, it's just you versus him. It's mano a mano. So, best man is going to win.
When you say, like, when you notice that none of the team kind of quit on each other, is that, I don't know if that was similar at your other spots, but, like, does that sort of just kind of reaffirm, like, you like where you're at now? And
oh, yeah, definitely. Good teams, they're never going to give up on each other. They're always going to be player-led, not coach-led, too. So I feel like we've got, like, good leaders on this team who they're not going to let us just sit around, pout, think that the season's over, because it's far from over. Everything we want, as in a conference championship, is still in front of us, and I think it's still maintainable.
4 games in, we talked about your transition here and Isaiah, some of the new offensive linemen. Are you starting to get to comfort zone with this offense? Because I know it's always a work in progress, but you starting to feel that comfort zone?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel more comfortable because I honestly feel like I haven't shown anybody really what I can do at my highest yet. Like, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I've got way more to show. So I feel like with all the guys coming in, we're all like gelling, we're all clicking. I feel like this is the time of the year where like you really get rolling.
Is that also kind of chemistry with Holton and how that's grown since you've gotten here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we put in a lot of work over the summer, just throwing, running routes, but you can't simulate game reps. So I mean, that was our 4th game with each other. So each game we're getting more and more comfortable. We're learning what he likes to do, what I like, how I want it, how he wants me to run the route. So I feel like we'll be way better the rest of the season.
I guess I asked Mike the wrong way, but you guys have been really great in the red zone getting touchdowns each week. Leading up to this week, you got 1, you needed more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what kind of needs to change in the red zone, I guess, coming out of the Navy game, or what happened in the red zone in the Navy game, I guess?
I feel like when you're in the red zone, you got to walk away with points every time, and hopefully it's 7 points, not 3. But I feel like in the red zone, it's not as much field, so you got to be really like, your technique has to be on point. You got to run the right depth. Everybody's got to gel, like pass protection's got to be there. So I feel like if we just focus on red zone, which we work on Wednesdays, and we really master the game plan, we should be able to score even more in the red zone.
Is that the chemistry thing you were kind of talking about too?
I mean, you can always say that because having more team chemistry is always going to make you more successful on the field. But shoot, a lot of programs, I mean, 70% scoring in the red zone is elite, so you're never going to be 100%, but that's the goal. But I mean, yeah, I guess if we just develop more chemistry, we'll even get our percentages up even higher in the red zone. Yeah, Keaton always going to help.
All right, there is Jalen Johnson, the East Carolina receiver. Pirates have been good in the red zone this year, both offensively and defensively. We'll need that to show up coming up Saturday, 2:30, when they take on South Florida in Boca Raton. We'll be with you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, 10:30 a.m. Looking forward to being with you all day on Saturday before the game, after the game, and maybe even during the game. If we're here watching the game in the studio, we might pop on YouTube and Facebook Live, and you can watch the game with us coming up on Saturday. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, hour 2, PRL. In that hour, we'll hear from the voice of Jeff Charles, also Patrick Mason from the Daily Reflector. Stephen Igoe still set to join us here on a Wednesday as well. A lot to get to when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better brace yourself because this right here is a Papa John's Papa Bowl. No crust, just piping hot toppings and melty cheese in an oven-baked bowl. Better ingredients, better pizza, now in a bowl, Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, brace yourself for the brand new Papa Bowls for only $7.99. The new Papa Bowls are an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers. UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Tired and sluggish? Down in the dumps? Or do you just have the blahs? Well, maybe you need to hydrate. Revive Health and Wellness offers IV hydration, which can help you with lack of energy, improve your mood, assist with immunity, and even fix a hangover. Call today to set up an appointment at 350-1805. Locally owned and operated by Samantha Casper, Revive Health and Wellness has a new location and is ready to serve you. Stop by at 2459 Emerald Place in Greenville or go online at revivehealthwellness.org.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live, here on a Wednesday. A lot of different ways you can listen and watch us. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook Live. Folks on YouTube chiming in. I asked about conspiracy theories earlier. John says the NBA is trying to screw the Hornets because they are jealous of Michael Jordan. And that is why they put all this hype about Frank the Tank and Cody Zeller. And we drafted these fellas, and then we lost. That is his conspiracy. I've talked about this.
Interesting.
That's not interesting at all. I've talked about this a million times. The Hornets have made their own bad luck in drafts. They've also got some very, very bad luck in the process. I'll briefly go over it again off the top of my head. The Hornets are... The Bobcats came back a year after the stacked LeBron, D-Wade, Bosh draft. And you'd like to think they would have got one of those stars if they Carmelo. I left him out. They would have got one of those stars to be a building block on the team if they would have just came out 1 year earlier. Or if the players would have all came out 1 year later. That would have worked out for Charlotte. Who knows what would have been. Instead, they're out the next year, and they don't get the number one pick. The expansion team picks second, so the Magic get Dwight Howard, and we get Emeka Okafor, who was the Rookie of the Year, but I think we could all agree we'd rather have Howard than Okafor. Then you've got the Hornets in the strike-shortened season had the worst winning percentage in NBA history, or the Bobcats, I'm sorry, and the ping pong balls didn't go their way, so they get the second pick.
Was that the year we went 7 games? We won 7 games.
They didn't get Anthony Davis. They were forced to take. Well, they weren't forced to take him, but they had the second pick, and they took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
What a doozy!
And we miss out on Anthony Davis. So, like, we missed out on LeBron/Carmelo.
I'm pretty sure we
miss out on Dwight Howard, and then you miss out on Anthony Davis.
If you go back just a few years, I believe we missed out on Donovan Mitchell.
No. In these cases, we missed out on them in things that weren't the Hornets Bobcats' control. They missed out on Donovan Mitchell because they didn't draft him.
That was in their control.
They drafted, who was it that year? Malik Monk.
Yeah.
They could have drafted Donovan Mitchell. That was in their control. Drafting Adam Morrison.
But you're literally the worst team in the NBA, and with the lottery what it is, you get pretty much screwed. And then that year that we actually had things go our way, when we had a little chance to get in the top 3, it went our way, and we got LaMelo.
Which looks like that worked out in our favor.
Yes.
Can't argue with that one. But drafting Adam Morrison and Frank the Tank and Zeller, Noah Vonleh, like all these high, the year they went all Carolina with Felton and May,
Felton, yeah.
Which Felton was okay. Sean May kind of like ate himself out of the league. They have had numerous misses. So some of it's been their fault. Most of it's been their fault. Some of it has been out of their control. Michael says, can anyone find out if the newly designed football jerseys will be available for purchase? I mean, that question's been asked a million times. I know they're aware of it. I don't have the answer currently, but I know that would be a hot item because I've seen that asked quite a bit. Cameron says, Clip needs to shave that mustache ASAP.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know, Cameron. Do you not?
Cameron, what's wrong with it?
You think I'd be cuter without it? What would you like me to wear? How would you like me to look, Cameron? Maybe some sideburns? Maybe get a haircut, get it spiked up for you? Would that look nice?
What about a goatee? Have you ever gone with a goatee before?
Like a full, I'm a 40-year-old white guy goatee?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think
you want to try that out next time?
I don't think so.
Just like for a day.
I used to go with the Fred Durst, Kevin Garnett, chin. I don't want to say what we call them, but chin hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to go with that a lot. But yeah. I'll get rid of the mustache eventually. It's just something I'm doing at the moment.
I've had the same beard structure since I was a freshman in college.
I think you should go mustache, but you're scared to do it.
No. I don't think that'll look good. To me. I mean, I don't look good in general anyway.
Right. So what's the difference?
You got a point.
Yeah.
You got a point.
You're worried you won't get chicks with the mustache. Well, how are you doing in that department right now?
Not doing good.
Yeah, I mean, mix it up, man. It's fun to mix it up. It's fun to do different things. All right, let's head out to the Pitt Electric Live Line. Pitt Electric's hiring. If you want to join their team, you can do so. Go to pittelectric.com and talk to the voice, Jeff Charles. He joins us today here on Pirate Radio Live. Jeff, how you doing on this Wednesday?
Cliff, I'm doing great. I thought we were going to Tampa, but it looks like we're going to Boca Raton, and we've got our fingers crossed that the Pirates will leave on Friday afternoon and be able to get down there and play the game Saturday at 2:30. It's not a normal week for sure, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what transpires. As you well know, and our listeners well know, that Hurricane Ian, is an absolute monster in the state of Florida. But it looks like the brunt of it won't get to the Boca Raton area. They're certainly going to feel the effects of it today. I know there's a tropical storm warning out as we speak. But, my goodness, those poor folks in the Fort Myers, Sarasota, Tampa areas on the west side, they're getting hammered.
No doubt, Jeff. And as far as you know right now, is the team, are you guys heading out Friday? Is it kind of a normal, I know you're not going to your original destination, but as far as the timing of the flight and everything goes?
Well, I've not heard exactly when the flight's going to leave yet, Clip, but as a rule, when things are normal, the Pirates on a Friday afternoon will usually leave 1 or 1:30, somewhere in there in Greenville. They like to get to the destination by 3:30 or so, the hotel and the visiting city. So I'm sure that's what they want to do. Whether we'll be able to do that, I think the biggest concern is the equipment truck. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's going on at ECU with that. But my goodness, when you look at these models, I mean, is I-95 even going to be open in Florida to drive the truck down there? I mean, I don't even know at this point. I don't think anybody does. So, you know, that's a concern, I would think. Can you fly all the equipment down there? I don't know the answer to that. But I'm sure the people at ECU and USF, they've got their thinking caps on trying to think all of this through.
And we're keeping an eye on it as far as how it's going to affect North Carolina. And look, these things can shift minute by minute, hour by hour, but if we're following the models, looks like it's going to kind of roll through western North Carolina, and if it stays west, that might be good for flight travel back here in the east, Jeff. But I want to say, was it a South Florida game, and East Carolina went down to play the Bulls and tried to return back in a hurricane and kind of got caught up years ago. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do remember that. I remember it like it was yesterday, Clip, and quite frankly, it was not a good decision that was made by the ECU administration at the time. I'm just still scratch my head as to why we even did that, but the game is over in Tampa. You get all of these reports that things are not good, you know, in Virginia and North Carolina and the Mid-Atlantic area, and for whatever reason, they put everybody on an airplane and flew up this way, and the plane could not land in Greenville or Raleigh or Kinston, and so we ended up in Richmond, Virginia, and that's where they could put the plane down. So we're in Richmond, Virginia, and they were able to get buses, and we had 5 buses, believe it or not, 5 buses driving around in southern Virginia in a hurricane, trying to find a place to get off and stay, and we ended up dividing the team up into I don't know how many different areas and staying at I don't know how many different hotels.
Man.
Can you imagine a traveling party of probably 125 people or more, and you're trying to find hotel rooms at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in a hurricane? So, again, that was not a good decision. Thank goodness that everybody survived it, and I remember going to a hotel in Southern Virginia, and we just basically got off the road, off the bus, and we were in the hotel literally for maybe 4 or 5 hours to get a little sleep, and then got right back up and got on the bus and came back to Greenville then on Sunday morning.
Yeah, well, it'll all be part of Jeff Charles's New York Times best-selling book one day when you write down all this stuff, Jeff.
Selling book. I don't know about New York Times, Cliff.
Jeff Charles joining us today on the Pitt Electric Live Line. Voice East Carolina coming off a loss against Navy and a frustrating loss there. Really seemed like East Carolina had some momentum going offensively, and that took a step back. Give credit to Navy's defense, but man, Jeff, I feel like our defense, East Carolina's defense, did enough to win that game, and offense, I don't know, didn't come through the other night, and another Owen Daffer missed field goal at the end of the game, but as a lot of folks said on the 5th quarter, maybe shouldn't have come down to that. So what did you see Saturday night there at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium?
Well, Clip, I saw a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda. And, yeah, it was a bitter pill to swallow. I think Pirate fans have had a hard time, too, because ECU is like a 16 to 17-point favorite, and they lost the game. But you and I talk about this, and we talked about it last week. I was very concerned with the game with Navy because I think I mentioned that I felt they were a wounded animal coming in here at 0-2, and we know what the history has been between ECU and Navy football. It's always been a tough nut for the Pirates, so I was expecting really the kind of game that we got, I thought, going into it, the Pirates could find a way to win it, but I was not surprised that, it's a 17-17 ball game in the fourth quarter. That didn't surprise me at all. Now, ECU had chances, and, a couple of turnovers were huge. You can't turn the ball over at your minus 25-yard line, or you can't turn it over on your last drive to potentially win the game, and those things come back to bite you, and you know what, and that's what happened. And you're right, I feel for Owen Daffer. He probably shouldn't have been in that position, and, it's a game of inches, as we know, Clip, and I know in talking with folks who have really looked at the field goal and the trajectory of it, I mean, you're talking literally inches. It was inches away from that upright. So, the kick goes another foot, and you go into, a triple overtime situation to have a chance to win. But you always look back at a half a dozen or 8-10 plays that change things, and that's what happened last week. So 2-2 now, coming out of September. And, Clip, every one of these games, you've been around this long enough to know, anytime you play a conference game, it's going to be a dogfight. And this game with South Florida coming up on Saturday, if it's played, we hope it is, and it's going to be a very, very tough game to win. It's a game on the road. I always say USF looks good coming off the bus because they're a major college football program with Florida athletes. They just have not been able to put it together. They've got talent, but Jeff Scott's only 4-21 now in his tenure at USF. So, they've really struggled to win games. But you just have to feel like one of these times the light bulb's going to come on, and the very good players, the talented players they have, will go out and play a really good football game like they did against Florida. They must have had a mental letdown last week when Louisville blew them out. But they had a number of key players out of that game, too, that, as we understand it, are going to be back for the East Carolina game. So this is don't look at the record. Don't look at 1-3 and say, well, this team's not very good. The Pirates have beaten them the last 2 years. Every game is a dogfight, and this is going to be another tough game on the road coming up this weekend.
Talked to Jim Lauk earlier this week, Jeff, and he said basically he's glad he's calling these games and not being paid to pick these games, or he would have been fired, because I brought up East Carolina Navy and then Tulane and what they've done the last couple weeks, and then South Florida. He said he was shocked at the way BYU manhandled USF. And then for them to turn around and almost win in Florida, then get blown out by Louisville. And he did mention all the players out last week, but said that week to week, it is a crapshoot. And that's what we're going to see in the American. That's what we're going to see in all these ECU games. So you're right. I mean, it's a nice basis to go off of, looking at the stats, looking at the standings, looking at what's happened recently, trends and all that. But, man, once you kick it off, none of that stuff matters at all.
It doesn't matter at all, Clip. It's all bets are off. You know what I mean? And that's going to be the case with this game with USF, and then it's going to be the case next week against Tulane, and when Memphis comes in here, it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
These conference games, these are tough games to win. I don't care who you are, unless, you're like Cincinnati was last year, where they just dominated just about everybody they played. But if you're not that dominant, nationally ranked kind of team in the AAC, there's just very little difference talent-wise with any of these teams, and they all have their own weaknesses and their own strengths, and unless, again, you're just one of these teams that every so often, like a Cincinnati, literally is one of the best teams in the country, it's just tough to win a conference game on a given Saturday. So that's going to be the way it's going to be the rest of the way out, and as we all know, BYU's the lone non-conference game, and that's going to be a tough game too, going out there, and they're the 19th ranked team in the country. They're playing now on Thursday night against Utah State. So I'm certainly going to watch that game and get a good look at BYU, but I think I pretty much know what you're going to get because you even watched the game because of that prolific offense, and they're just a bear, as you know, Cliff. They're a bear to stop.
Jeff Charles joining us, Pit Electric Live Line here on a Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Jeff, if you need your spirits picked up tomorrow on Thursday, I got the right place for you to go, and that's Pirate Radio Live, because we'll be talking to Cy Seymour. He's going to join us for the first time as we get ready for some basketball. The first practice yesterday for Mike Schwartz, and Jeff Cy is going to be fired up, I know, ready to go for another basketball season, and always enjoy his optimism, his positivity, and really just his love for basketball in East Carolina. it's refreshing to talk to, and each and every year we enjoy our chats with Si. I know you have enjoyed all your millions of chats with Si over the years.
Oh, absolutely. He's a dear friend, as you know, and we worked the games together for years, and then Si decided to step aside with the radio work and just do the home games on television last year. But yeah, he's always optimistic about Pirate basketball, and I'm glad that somebody is out there, Clip, because we talked about that before. But it's going to be an interesting year because they have so many new players, and there's going to be a lot of fresh blood in. New players, new coaches, new head coach. So there'll be some curiosity this year for sure.
Jeff Charles joining us. Jeff, as we look to this college football weekend, NC State and Clemson, a marquee game, and everything's kind of, you're holding your breath, right, to see what can take place and when it'll take place. And East Carolina, of course, moved to Boca Raton. I think Florida State, Florida, they're all kind of shifting around. They're going to play Sunday or Thursday or so. It's one of those crazy weekends. We see it every year. It's affected us plenty of times. So you're just kind of holding your breath, waiting to see what will transpire with this storm and how it will affect football this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt about that. South Carolina's playing tomorrow night, Clip. Their game has been rescheduled with South Carolina State. They're playing that game in Columbia on Thursday night at 7. I guess they figured they can get it in tomorrow night, better than waiting until the weekend. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those weekends, and you're right, we've been there before, but everything's kind of topsy-turvy. And, again, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed the Pirates can play this weekend. And, you know, as we understand it, as we speak, the game is on, and the Pirates are making plans to go to Boca Raton and play at Florida Atlantic Stadium. I've never been to FAU's stadium. I have seen it because a number of years ago, the Pirates played basketball against FAU. And so we had a chance to walk around the campus, and the basketball and football facility are relatively close together. So it's, you know, a relatively new field, Howard Schnellenberger Field. You may remember Coach Schnellenberger started the program at FAU, and so his name is on the facility. And just a couple of days I was in Boca Raton, Clip. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. It really is. It's right there, of course, on the ocean on the east coast side of Florida. And it is really, really nice. So I can understand why, you know, kids would want to go to school at FAU. Boca is really a beautiful city.
And this, and I think I know the answer to this now. We were talking about earlier this week. There was one stadium you went to down there, and you called the game like from the end zone corner. That was FIU, not FAU, correct?
Thank goodness. But we're not going there, because my colleagues and I, we all talk about that all the time, about what a horrible place that is to broadcast from, because we weren't even in the press box. We were under a tent in the end zone trying to broadcast the game, and that's where they were putting radio networks at the time, and it was an almost impossible situation to broadcast the game. But like everything, we find a way to do it and get through it.
There you go. Jeff Charles joining us. Jeff, understand you were on the Believe Big podcast, and a really neat deal there. And what's that all about, Jeff?
Well, the Believe Big podcast, and you're right, it is up and it is online. What Believe Big is, Cliff, is it's an advocacy nonprofit organization out of Baltimore, and I've become friends with those folks over the years during my cancer journey. And a young lady by the name of Evelise Page, who's become such a good friend, she's the one that founded this company and this organization, and she is a cancer survivor herself who believes in mistletoe therapy. And you've heard me and a lot of our listeners talk about mistletoe down through the years. Well, she's just doing wonderful work, and it's a remarkable organization. And she does a podcast with someone each and every week, and she asked me to do one with her this week. So for those folks who are interested in information regarding cancer and also a message of hope and inspiration, I would certainly ask them to go to the podcast. Here's how they can find it, Clip. It's at Believe Big Podcast at buzzsprout.com. And if they go to that, it is the interview I did with her. And, we just talked about my cancer journey. And, again, we just put some information out there. And I think anybody who is struggling with cancer, who has a friend or has a family member, that is going through it right now. Hopefully it can be a source of inspiration to those folks, and even more importantly, provide some great information as to how people can look at an alternative approach to cancer and utilize mistletoe therapy, which for me has been absolutely wonderful, and for a lot of other people who have had cancer. So, again, I wanted to give that out. Let me give that address out again, Cliff, folks, because a lot of people listening to us have gone over the years to some of these websites that I have recommended they go to. And again, it's Believe Big Podcast at buzzsprout.com. And that's where they can find it. It runs, I think, about 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, and Jeff, actually, I typed it into my my podcast here, and I have an Android phone, but on my podcast site, if you type in Believe Big Podcast, it'll pull up Jeff Charles, 27 minutes, one day ago, and then I typed it up here on my computer, Apple Podcast, and you can find it there. So, yeah, just type it into wherever you get your podcast, and you could find it that way, download it, and be right there for you. 27 minutes of Jeff Charles from yesterday.
Yep, yeah, again, and I want to thank Eva Lise for giving me the opportunity to do it with her, because we got a lot of good information out there. And not only my interview with her, Clip, as you can see when you pull that up, she does one every week, and she's got interviews with people who have been cancer patients, a lot of different doctors around the country who are naturopathic doctors who, believe me, are on the cutting edge of an entire different way to treat cancer, and in my opinion, a much better way to treat cancer than how we've treated cancer in this country, the conventional way, for so many years. So there's just great information on there, and you can hear people's stories that really uplift people who have cancer that need some hope.
That's fantastic. And, it's very readily, easily available to download and check that out. And that's awesome, Jeff. I'll give it a listen myself, and we appreciate your time today. Have a safe trip down to Boca Raton, Jeff. Didn't know you were heading there this season, but you will be for this football game against South Florida. And, Jeff, we'll visit with you Saturday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, and talk to you again next week right here on Pirate Radio Live.
Sounds great, Cliff. Always enjoy it. Have a good one.
There is Jeff Charles before he leaves town for Boca Raton for ECU and South Florida. Did have an equipment truck update during that chat. John Moody tweeted in that the equipment truck is being loaded today. It has not left Greenville as of yet. So kind of worried about travel with the storm and everything going on with Hurricane Ian, but we'll continue to keep you updated as the hours and days go on here on the show. And, of course, also social media. Follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for the latest. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back when we return. Patrick Mason, Daily Reflector, will join us. We'll talk Pirate football, Pirate hoops, and more. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live. Hour 2 rolls on after this.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Hey Pirate Nation, Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials. This is Holt Nailers, and if you need a Yeti cooler, apparel, shoes, or accessories for the season, Shimmer has you covered. Shimmer Boutique is also the exclusive retailer in Greenville carrying the largest selection of built-in broken gear for adults and youth. Be ready for game day and every day at Shimmer Boutique on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville across from Lowe's. Go Pirates!
Christie's Europub is the perfect place to relax, grab a bite, and enjoy a drink. Located in the heart of Greenville and just a few blocks from ECU's campus, Christie's offers lunch, dinner, and late night with live music every Sunday. Come and have brunch Monday through Friday from 11 to 3 or Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4. Scratch cooking takes time, so relax and enjoy a pint at Christie's Europub today. For the latest information, check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit them online at christieseuropub.com.
Will the you of tomorrow be happy with the you of today? It all depends on the decisions the you of today makes. For instance, the you of today has an excellent career opportunity with Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. The pay is great, very competitive with other HVAC companies. Plus, you could get a $1,500 sign-on bonus. The you of tomorrow will enjoy some time away because Delcor also offers paid vacation. Most HVAC companies don't. And since the you of today has some experience, Delcor might just hire you on the spot.
Delcor is hiring 12 experienced HVAC and plumbing professionals immediately. You must have a valid driver's license, ability and desire to work, and legally eligible to work in the U.S. Delcor offers a sign-on bonus up to $1,500, plus one of the best benefits packages in the industry, including health insurance, paid vacation, and retirement options. Learn more at DelcorInc.com. That's DelcoRinc.com.
The you of tomorrow will thank the you of today for getting a job at Delcor. Delcor is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey Pirate fans, this is head coach Mike Houston. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been taking care of our athletes here at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or if it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the folks who have been taking care of me and many of our fans in Pirate Nation or visit them online at orthopedicseast.com. Go Pirates!
Hi, Pirate Nation. This is Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Are you ready for fall? Because we are with our fall savings event. Also, are you tired of other dealers marking up their vehicle over MSRP? Don't worry, because at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we don't do that. Come work with the best salesman in Beaufort County, Stephen Tyson, voted by Washington Daily News. Have the pleasure of working with the best sales staff in Eastern North Carolina during our fall savings event. We have a vehicle for every need. Come check out the all-new design Jeep Grand Cherokee and more. And remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
ASAP Party and Tent Rentals is your one-stop shop for weddings, anniversaries, corporate events, family reunions, birthday parties, or any celebration with friends and family. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals has the widest selection of tents, tables, chairs, linens, china, concession equipment, bounce rides, games, staging, wedding equipment, dance floors, and so much more. At ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, we help people get together. Call today at 756-7903. ASAP Party and Tent Rentals, locally owned and operated on Diamond Drive in Greenville near Agri-Supply and Equipment Plus.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has two locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All righty, back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. On this day in 2008, this kicker attempted a 76-yard field goal right before the half. Who was that kicker?
Sebastian Janikowski.
That is correct. Florida State's own Sebastian Janikowski. Al Davis fired the coach 2 days later. Who was the coach of the Raiders?
Lane Kiffin.
That is correct. Boy, Chandler was on the championship trivia team last week at AJ's, and he is in the zone right now.
I'm ready to go.
They're locked in.
It's Wednesday. It's game day, baby.
Game day.
I got to defend the crown.
That's the special teams guru right there.
Yep. Anytime there's a special teams question.
I'm a former long snapper.
Do we still have that, Shirley?
Year, I'm a former long snapper, so I love talking about this position. I'm a former specialist myself. I used to long snap. All right, I'm going to talk about my favorite part of football, special teams.
That's the truth? You mean that?
I'm a former long snapper.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if Tim Dow spent less time talking and yucking it up with Chandler and coaching, maybe we'd be better at special teams. And if we didn't wear uniforms, we'd be better.
Go naked.
Is this the fifth quarter right now?
Look, it's always game day for me. I'm in fifth quarter mode, ready to go. Patrick, how you doing, sir?
Doing all right. What about you?
I'm doing good, Mr. Kannapolis Cannonballers.
Hey, y'all are both rocking awesome minor league caps.
This room has turned into the lid zone with myself, with Patrick, and Ryan Jones coming in Monday. I go with the throwback Mariners lid, looking sharp. I like where this trend's heading. I like this. If we could find one big enough for Chandler's noggin, maybe we get him on board. But I digress. Patrick, talk about it.
About Chandler's noggin?
Nah, just talk about it. Just talk about
just take it
whatever.
away.
Yeah, just take over, man.
Well, I don't know this. I can't stop looking at hurricane photos. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
so you're a Midwesterner.
Yeah.
By heart. Did you have naders or anything out there? Tornadoes.
I never really had to deal with them. No. So
yeah. So no natural disasters really at all then?
Not really. They usually stay away from me, which I'm fine with.
From
honestly.
you in particular?
Yeah, for me in particular. I do like the opposite of a rain dance, essentially.
I hear you.
Stay
A dry dance, a stay away weather dance. So you were, but now you are a storm chaser. You're flying right into this bad boy, right?
That's right. Yeah, now I'm just loading up on a tin tube and just flying right into it.
So you are still planning to go to the game?
Yeah, that's the plan. I was just thinking it's going to be my luck because the first time traveling for this football team was going up to Annapolis for the bowl game. That gets canceled. So the next time I travel, I'm heading right into this monster. So
you're 0 for 1, staring 0 for 2 right in the face.
Right. So it's not a good start.
When's your flight?
Friday afternoon. I think it's like maybe noon or 1. I gotta obviously check. But.
So like the plane, where are you leaving from?
Raleigh.
All right, so the plane just goes out in the ocean, stays away from it, right?
Yeah, hopefully it can just go away from it or over it.
Or maybe you got like a badass pilot who's like, man, we're going right through this thing.
Yeah, let's hope it's not like a former Navy guy and just like, yeah, let's do this.
Let's go. I've been waiting on this storm my whole life.
Right.
They call in one like pilot that flies through storms.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. He's been doing hurricane flight simulators all year long.
Right. It's like Denzel Washington in that movie Flight.
Well, he was just hammered.
Yeah, but that's true. Let's not get that guy.
So you want a drunk Navy pilot?
Oh man.
So okay. And then hopefully you can get there. Where are you flying into?
Flying into Fort Lauderdale. So
let me look up my Florida.
So that's a little bit south. I want to say it's like 30 miles south of Boca. And I don't know.
We're looking at a solid 26-minute drive.
Right. It's close by, but I mean, this thing is massive, so I can't imagine that it's just going to be like, we're going to leave this part alone.
Yeah, well, you're kind of like the aftermath and everything. Yeah, because by Friday it'll be, north of there, hopefully, right?
Right.
So, and interested to see what happens with us. If it keeps tracking east, that's, not great for us, but as of right now, it's like tracking to go through, I think, Charlotte, Shirley said.
Yeah, so hopefully it stays west. I mean, because I'm worried about my return flight, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Sunday, I got to go back up this way.
Or you could just be stuck in Florida. You could be Florida man.
There could be worse places to get stuck, but I guess I don't want to see any Florida men. Man or men, any of them.
Florida woman?
Yeah. I mean,
none?
They're probably better than Florida man.
I would, yeah. That's a special breed down there.
It is.
As far as the football itself, Patrick, that was kind of a bummer Saturday night.
It really was.
What did you see through your? Do you have 20/20 vision?
I wear contacts. So.
Contacts. What did you see through your contact lenses?
Well, luckily I had my contacts in, but what I saw was the defense played well enough to win. I mean, they played really well, and I thought the offense just took a step back from what we've seen the first 3 weeks. It just didn't look crisp. It just didn't look right. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of the game. I mean, they shouldn't have been in double overtime to begin with. Everyone wants to kind of bash Owen Daffer again, but I mean, he missed the kick, sure, but I think there was plenty of other opportunities to win that game before it even got to that situation.
Definitely. There's plenty of finger pointing to go around and bashing to do if you choose to do so. And your first statement, I totally agree with. The offense taking a step back, and now you just got to wonder: is that a 1 week thing? Is that a Navy thing, or is it a sign to come against these conference opponents that have played against Mike Houston, Donnie Kirkpatrick, Holt Nailers, and East Carolina? Because I think you asked last week in the press conference something about being familiar with opponents. That can be a good thing. Well, these guys are also familiar with us, and if we're not evolving and kind of doing the same deal, defenses are going to be ready for it, prepared for it.
Yeah, and just from my seat up in the press box, I mean, it looked like especially Navy's linebackers are well off the ball, and they were obviously sending pressure from a lot of different spots. But, I mean, with such a veteran team and, especially an offensive coordinator who's seen this, like, I guess I'm surprised that they let it get to him so much that they did. It just looked really off. The offense nothing was really working. I mean, 3 points through 3 quarters is definitely not what you want.
Very strange. And it felt like throughout the entire game, we're somehow going to find a way to get this done. And then you got the ball at the end of regulation. Holton Ahlers makes the throw across the body, the old Cardinal sin, and then we head to overtime. I was not feeling as confident heading into overtime with Navy.
Yeah, it's funny because at one point in the game, I actually started writing my story. It was when Holton Ahlers finally had some time to set his feet and throw, and I want to think it was he found Raji Harris over the middle, and it kind of set up a long drive. And I was like, all right, here it is. He's got some time. They're kind of clicking. And then, 2 minutes later, I'm deleting the whole thing because it just ended up being nothing. So it was really just kind of frustrating to watch. It was kind of head-scratching.
This team is resilient. They have been able to come back from losses and win games. I'm totally expecting them to do that this week. But, man, really hoping to see some firepower. We have been teased with it. With the weapons so far offensively, we just didn't see it on Saturday. So I think that was a major disappointment for a lot of fans that were tuned in that were expecting to see. Like Isaiah Winstead got his numbers, but he was the only one pretty much.
Yeah, and a lot of it came on that 67-yard play where Navy almost jumped the route too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a really funky game where no one kind of got going. Jalen Johnson told us yesterday that this team is just kind of a bunch of leaders, and they're not really going to let each other pout and sit around and kind of mope about this loss. And I guess we'll see that unfold Saturday and just kind of see, how that plays out.
Patrick Mason joining us. Let's get another break in. We'll come back. We'll have more. We'll get Patrick's thoughts on South Florida, that matchup. We'll talk a little hoops with Patrick, and we got Igoe coming up at 5 o'clock. So a lot more East Carolina talk on the way here on Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. Back with you after this.
Beauty Bar Medispa wants to know if you are ready to fall into beauty. October 7th through the 14th. All services and products will be on sale. Botox, filler, painless laser hair removal, facials, RF microneedling, rejuvenating laser treatments to treat brown spots, wrinkles, texture, veins, and skin tightening. And now, the only facility in the area to offer non-surgical under-eye fat pad treatments. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
Pirate fans, ECU basketball is just around the corner and season tickets are now on sale. A new era begins on the men's side with first-year head coach Mike Schwartz at the helm. Season tickets are on sale for as low as $125. On the women's side, in-state rivals Wake Forest and UNC Wilmington will come to Minges Coliseum. Season tickets on sale now for as low as $45. To get those tickets, call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville. Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership, savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package, too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Come and explore great shopping in downtown Washington at Naughty Life. Hi, this is Gina from Naughty Life, and new fall merchandise is arriving every day, featuring all the new Yeti products, like the loadout buckets and waterproof dry duffel bags. We have new fall clothes for men, women, and children. At Naughty Life, we have something perfect for any occasion, like new jewelry and a great selection of sunglasses from Costa, Reflect, and RCI. Visit Naughty Life on Main Street in historic downtown Washington, and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, Wings Over has everything to cure those late night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of PIP Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 five-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growitpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. PIP, where business goes to grow.
This is Tim Doust, ECU Football Special Teams Coordinator, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour brought to you by Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little and save a lot with a short trip to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. State Farm agent Tim Sawyer and his team are having a virtual quoting event this Thursday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Want a free quote on your home, auto, or life insurance? Call Tim and his team at 493-0002 to get a quote in less than 5 minutes. To get great coverage with great rates, call your local State Farm agent Tim Sawyer this Thursday at 493-0002. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. You know these random emails about interviewing people. We could interview Karen Melina White, star of Dahmer, the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
I've been watching that.
It's a tough watch.
It's a doozy.
But we could.
It's been talked about all over social media of how difficult at times it can be to watch it.
Shirley, during the 90s, she made guest appearances on The Cosby Show and A Different World.
Oh.
She was in 2 episodes. She was Jazz's wife on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Who did she play?
She was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Like, I would talk to her about this stuff, not the Dahmer stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Dahmer stuff. Let's talk about,
So she's in the Dahmer show, and it says, in her free time, she enjoys cooking.
She enjoys eating.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, yikes. But, I don't know, Shirley. Usually I ignore these. Maybe we'll try to get her on the show. Talk about 90s TV.
Yeah, I get emails like that sometimes in my inbox. One time I had one for William Shatner. And I was like...
Did you try? Did you give it a shot?
William Shatner.
Totally would love to talk to William Shatner.
Would you do that impression?
No, because that's a really bad impression.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he gets impressions
all
the time.
Be pretty wild card appearance.
Hey, Patrick Mason's here. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, I'm back.
Patrick, who would you like to interview? Let's say you could send out like 3, 4, 5 invites, and one of them has to say yes. Who would be on your short list?
Maybe I like Kid Cudi. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
He's got a show coming out too on Netflix.
So I am a huge fan of the podcast Comedy Bang Bang. You ever heard of it?
Yeah. I think we talked about this one time.
Oh, okay, we did. Yeah.
Way back. I mean, it's been a while ago, but
you're not a fan.
I actually kind of got into it a little bit just because he was on it, and I stuck around.
He was on the show, the TV show. Yep. Okay. Anybody else? There was an NBA game, NBA 2K, Kid Cudi and Dan Black. but they did a song.
Yeah, they did. I think called
Symphony.
Symphonies. Yeah.
Dude, that was I love that song.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, anyway.
Just because I think you can kind of get off topic with stuff. Like, I wouldn't choose, like, an athlete necessarily. Yeah. I don't know. Just like you said, you could talk to this lady about Fresh Prince.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. By the way, isn't it crazy?
Yes.
This is where my mind went during the break. It is like the nicest day ever outside. But at the same time, simultaneously, like somebody is suffering through this hurricane down there in Florida.
Yeah.
And like you think about it, there's like a billionaire in his boxers and robe playing like Xbox Live, watching his money stack while there's somebody like being tortured. Like, and we're all living in this world at the same time, man.
Some deep thoughts here. I mean, you could do that with anything.
Do y'all think about this stuff?
Yes, but not always with weather. I mean,
Deep thoughts.
all
by
this stuff
Clip
going
Rock.
on.
I have thought about it, how it is like we're just sitting here chilling today with the weather, and then me and Shirley have like live coverage of Hurricane Ian going on in Florida right now, and it's a mess. We actually just watched a construction, like one of those trailers on like on a construction site floating down a street in Florida. So it's going to be a mess to clean up there in Florida. But right now, as we sit here in Greenville, North Carolina, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it seems like Fort Myers is the one that's getting hit the hardest right now. Well, Fort Myers and Naples. Naples is having a serious flooding problem right now.
Yeah.
With the storm surge, they were showing between 12 and 18 feet in terms of storm surge. Yes, if any. They just showed footage of a construction trailer that was floating down the middle of a street in Fort Myers. So there's a lot of damage right now.
I feel like you just have to compartmentalize.
Yep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just be miserable. every day.
Exactly. Or you'll go insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much bad stuff's happening, so much good stuff's happening.
Right.
And we just kind of live through it, man, one day at a time.
This has been Deep Thoughts by Clip Rock.
There
You don't always win.
Thank you. And by the way, hard to believe Arthur is only 349 days away from a birthday.
That's right. He's preparing for the next one.
Coming up quick. The Washington Commanders stink, but they've been having some great quotes lately. And now I can't even remember the player who said this on, was it Charles Leno maybe? On Sunday, where he said it was like we were constipated. We couldn't get bleep going. That was a pretty good quote.
Pretty good.
And then I just saw Montez Sweat had the, which this is old cliche at this point, but on facing double teams and how his sacks are down, he said excuses are like buttholes. Everybody's got them. So a lot of butt talk going on right now with the Commanders. A lot of bleep talk, and for good reason.
I'm going to have to ask Patrick about what is going on with Chicago Bears Twitter. There's a lot of
last night
very strange tweets going on, and I know there's something about
Did you not see what it was about?
No.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't like Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus was behind it, and I saw he didn't want to do a TikTok, and so I didn't know.
I think
that's my guy.
Was it all on purpose? I think it was a great bit if it was all on purpose. So they just had a video.
There was one video, it was like
a butt dial type thing.
Yeah, it was in his pocket or back pocket or whatever.
And then there was like an off-centered selfie with Dick Butkus taking. I think the point was like, hey, there's an old man taking over our Twitter type thing.
Yeah, look over here because our football team is not what you want to look
You're
at.
You're 2-1. Shut up, Patrick.
Okay, you can say all you want, but that is not a good 2-1.
Oh, I know. They have the worst starting quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
I agree with that.
So look over here. Don't look at this.
You're 2-1.
And?
It's a terrible 2-1.
It's not like you have like
you're 1-2.
Look on the screen right here.
And it's a terrible
1-2.
Would you trade spots with Patrick right now?
For 2-1, yes.
That would be like the person suffering is trading spots with somebody suffering. It would be nobody's winning. No, I get it, but you got to be happy, man.
Yeah,
while you can.
Sure. I'm not like totally miserable yet, but I'm also not optimistic. Like, what are we gonna do with this?
Right now, the worst. I would take Carson Wentz over and I'm keeping out Shirley's Dolphins right now. I would take Wentz over Baker, Wentz over Fields, Wentz over Russell Wilson.
You already know what the ceiling for Wentz is, though. It is what it is. Like, you're not going to win.
What is the ceiling? Does Justin Fields, he lives in a home without a roof.
It might, right. That's a good thing, right? There is no ceiling. It could be anything.
Let me take that back. He lives in a home with a 4-foot ceiling. where he has to crouch down when he walks down the hall.
Yes,
It might very well could be 4 feet, but it's not totally defined yet.
And I don't know if the coach and the offense stinks, but completing 7 passes a game is not going to work.
Yeah.
But again, you win. If you can play the Texans every week, you'll be all right.
That's right.
To win the game.
Right.
So look, Igoe's got issues we'll talk about with his team because they stink. My goodness. You know what? I found everybody stinks.
Yeah.
There's
the
like
NFL.
1-2 good teams. If you're not a Bills fan and the Dolphins are going to come back down to earth, they're not as good as they've shown so far. In fact, they lose tomorrow night to the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. So everybody stops freaking out about them. Philly will keep. I think Philly is the real deal. They're going to keep winning. But if you're not like a Bills fan and the Chiefs will be okay, there's like a handful of teams that you expect to be good every week. And then there's just some awful, awful football playing teams in the NFL right now.
The thing about the NFL is like injuries are coming for everyone. So that kind of, it keeps everyone in it for a while, I guess.
Matt says Fields lives in a basement. That is
fair.
well put.
Yes.
Well put. All right. Patrick, you were out at basketball practice yesterday, right?
I was.
What'd you ask? We heard the Schwartz interview earlier. What'd you ask him?
Yeah, I just asked him about just kind of competition and just how that sort of is going to, develop throughout camp.
And Patrick, that's a pretty good question, but I think it's something that's going to go on the entire time.
Yeah, I think
That's
it
what he
absolutely
said.
will. Yeah. And it will. I think so, too.
Did you get to see anything?
Yeah, we saw them run. They were running.
All right.
They were running.
Good news. The boys can run.
And they were tired, and they were running and getting yelled at, and it looked like a first day of practice.
All right.
But I guess the one thing that jumped out with me was R.J. Felton looks massive. He could play football right now.
He looks like a safety or a running back.
Hop on it now.
He is huge.
The felt belt?
The felt belt.
Yeah, Chandler's
Hop on it.
Chandler's got the felt belt. I like the little guy, but I got to make sure he's going to play before I call him my guy.
Who was it that said that he can drive to the basket and pass it out?
That was my buddy John at the Pirate Radio party.
But the problem is
He said he's from the East. He's from up north. He said, "Man, this guy, he's getting in the lane like it's nobody's business, and he's kicking it out. Nobody can make a freaking shot."
Wow, that's a good jersey.
Like, man, that's I've seen that before with Pirate Hoops. Igoe is already hyping up a guy, and we're going to talk to him about that when we return. Patrick, you're welcome to hang out for another segment.
Possibly.
Patrick's segment always goes by so fast.
Yeah, I know. We have a lot to talk about with him, man. A lot of, life.
And it's usually bashing the Bears.
Stuff.
Yeah.
We had a funeral for the White Sox last week.
We had a funeral. We had a birthday party. It's a little bit of everything when Patrick joins us. All right, Patrick. We'll talk to you next week or next segment, depending. Oh, and we'll lobby a phone call Saturday.
Yeah.
During your normal time on the pregame.
I'll give you a weather report.
Yeah, we'll get a live weather report from P-Mace. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. Hour 3, Pirate Radio Live on the way. Igoe joins us after this.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Hey Jeff, how's inventory going?
Inventory levels are increasing. For the first time in over 45 days, we have Mazdas in stock, Buick in stock, Cadillac in stock, and GMC in stock. I highly encourage the customer to go to gmc.com, build and price their vehicle, share that with Brown & Wood, and let us place your order. We need some price protection for these customers, and you got to place an order to have that.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville, and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
We all love using Uber Eats, DoorDash, and grocery pickup. It makes life so much easier. Well, now there is cellular delivery, and the team at Cellular Warehouse has perfected the process. They will deliver your new phone right to your door with all your information loaded on the new phone. And the best thing is there is no charge for this awesome service. And you don't have to waste half the day sitting in a Cellular store. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 and let his team of experts make your cellular delivery today. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent, serving all of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Holt Nailers. I've been eating at Parker's Barbecue since I was a kid. Now, all these years later, I still love to eat at Parker's. In fact, I love it so much, I bring my entire offensive line with me. They protect me, and I look out for them with great food from Parker's Barbecue. So whether you bring the team like me or just your friends and family, the awesome barbecue, chicken, and seafood at Parker's is a win every time. Parker's Barbecue, where they always treat you like family.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bond. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Live well, move more, and hurt less with Kinetic Physical Therapy. If you're recovering from an injury, getting back into sports, dealing with everyday pain or fatigue, then Kinetic Physical Therapy can help you get back on track and live well. Kinetic has nationally certified therapists for physical, occupational, speech, and massage therapy, all in a state-of-the-art facility on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. Visit kineticptgreenville.com for more information. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Rock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Should I use that analogy on the air, Igoe? So Stephen Igoe's here. Hey, Stephen. Oh, hey. Crap. Hit the music. I'll tell it during the music.
No, it works.
All right.
Igoe.
So,
Igoe.
Turn it down a little bit, Sean. I almost trolled on Hoist the Colors last night. There was a kid that was committed to ECU. He decommitted and committed to UNC, right?
Yep.
And it just irritates me when people get super butthurt about it. And I almost trolled on Hoist the Colors. And I'd like for you to, because you're going to say, well, that's different. Or you might say it's similar. But this was going to be my troll, okay? I was going to go up there and say, hey, I'm a big Fayetteville State fan. This reminds me of when,
Can we just get back to the show?
what was his name? Hardy? Jason Hardy? Jeff Hardy? Matt Hardy? Justin Hardy. We had this guy named Justin Hardy, signed his letter of intent to play here. And then all of a sudden, Big Bad East Carolina swoops in, takes him away, and fine. He probably never made it because he's a quitter. Whatever happened to that guy? That was going to be my troll job. Do you understand my point? My point is this happens all the
So
time.
what you're saying is ECU is Fayetteville State, and UNC is ECU.
In this analogy, and maybe it's not the best analogy, the analogy is one school is higher profile than the other.
I mean, I think it's a fair analogy. Although Justin Hardy came, it's even worse because Justin Hardy came to ECU as a walk-on, and he had a scholarship to Fayetteville State. So it'd be like Ty Adams taking a walk-on, which again, Fayetteville State Division II, right? ECU Division I, FBS. It's a little bit of a difference there.
It sure is. It is. But it's happened all the time.
ECU also beat UNC 70-41. I don't think Fayetteville State beat ECU.
Sure. That's a great argument as to why my analogy stinks.
But either way, it's not really worth getting that worked up about.
Yeah.
And the kid basically said from the moment he got up.
Oh, here we go. We got a new one coming up. Crank it up, Shirley.
I go.
Ken Niamatololo.
I go.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. All right.
Pause there. I didn't know where it was going.
Ken. You had to think about it for a minute. Ken Niamatololo. I thought I'd bring him up. It is National Sons Day, and he is our daddy. So there you go. Sad.
Has he reached out to ECU?
I don't know. Has he told us what uniforms we can wear this week? That's still, I'm kind of half joking about that, but still kind of bugs me that the opposing team told us what to wear.
I think Pirates are going white helmets this weekend.
I would. Let's go right back into the fire, baby. No, I don't think they are.
Just wear them the rest of the season until they win a game. Like, why not?
They will be wearing them homecoming with the new unis. Those are cool. We talked.
I just want to say there is people out there their heads will explode if we wore the white helmets for the rest of the year. There's people out there that will explode.
And if we keep losing every week,
I can't believe that they're that worked up about it being a white helmet for modern throwbacks, I guess is what I'm calling them.
I will say, and again, this
over
is
purple.
Yeah.
The Pirate script that they used would not have looked good on a purple helmet.
Why not?
Because it's purple and gold. Right?
Well,
Yeah.
the pirate script was
is
gold.
Yeah.
On a purple helmet.
Why wouldn't that look good?
It
That's
just
what
wouldn't
it
look
was
as
back in the
clean.
day.
And it didn't look very good.
Says who? When did
Pull
you
it up.
become a fashion expert?
Pull it right now.
When did you become a fashionista?
I love the Pirate script, but I think it didn't look great on a purple helmet.
All right. You know what? That's great about America. Everybody's got opinions.
I mean, that's the best part about the fifth quarter calling shows. Like, all these people call in and like, we got to fix this. This sucked. This is the reason we lost. And somebody's like, I don't think it was that.
Blame
It was another
Daffer.
thing.
Don't blame Daffer.
Yeah. But just, everybody sees the game a different way.
I know, and it's awesome. And we all live here in harmony. There's nothing wrong. Don't watch the news. All right, Steve-O, where to begin? We forgot to do everything last week.
Yeah, we got to make picks. We
didn't do those awards that I brought up.
We didn't do awards.
Let's do awards real quick. Offensive Player of the Week, Isaiah Winstead.
I'm going to go with Isaiah Winstead.
Actually, MVP. I don't think we do. Do we do offense and defense?
Offensive MVP, defensive MVP.
Who's the defensive MVP?
Defensive MVP for me.
X had a lot of tackles.
I would just say the inside linebackers in general. Xavier Smith, Miles Berry, Chance Bates all played well.
Chance Bates led the team in tackles. X was right under him. Bird up play. I love seeing Ryan Jones catch a touchdown that wasn't like a 4-yard wide open play design. And he big-bodied. Bryce Williams talked about yesterday how he boxed out the defender and called that touchdown. That was a pretty play.
Bird up play for me was the Winstead play. Navy had just scored, had all the momentum. And I can't remember if it was second and short or third and short, but made that catch and run for the big play. And you really felt after that play ECU was going to win the game.
Best unit, you already mentioned it. You're going inside LBs.
Yeah, inside LBs. I thought they played a great game. Their job.
D-line, honorable mention, right?
Defensive line. I mean, really, the whole defense played well. Outside linebackers, safeties got beat a little bit in coverage, but, it's going to happen.
Worst unit, first time I'm saying this year, O-line?
For me, I don't think so. I think that they were up there, but going back and rewatching the game, I don't think they were as bad as it seemed.
What was the issue?
In pass pro, they were actually good. Now, run blocking was inconsistent. It was like they would have the play blocked the right way, and then there would be one guy who leaked through and would make the tackle. Like, it was very frustrating to watch because they were close, and on several of those runs, like if you watch it live, you're just like, man, the O-line is getting dominated. There were also a few runs where, like, the running back just didn't hit the hole. I mean, there were multiple instances. There were plays where I thought, and I don't know if it was a design handoff. If not, it needs to be in the offense where the defensive end is crashing so hard. If Holton keeps it, he's got room to run. So
Igoe killed that play on college football.
The backside defensive end right now is not respecting Holton Ahlers, and they're just crashing the run, which part of that is probably because Holton's banged up. But, that they have to work in at least him to keep that once or twice a game just to keep him honest. Because there were times where that backside defensive end will come back unblocked and make the tackle down the line of scrimmage when, he wasn't really accounted for. So they got to figure that out. Worst unit offense as a whole to me. Nobody really played well. Like, Holton did not have a good game. The running backs didn't have a great game. Winstead, he had a great game, but he could have made that catch on 3rd and 5 in double overtime.
And I thought the defender got his hand in there, but Winstead walked off the field pointing at his chest.
Yeah,
that was on me.
It hit him I think near the. It looked like it got on him.
Yeah.
Which it was a blitz, and Holton had to get rid of it quick.
Yeah.
It was just one of those days, man. And, Navy, it's cliche to say, but they really did do a lot. Looking at the film, man, they were, crowding the line of scrimmage, and they would drop back. They had guys that would rush, and if they didn't have a free blitzer, or if they got picked up, they would just drop back into coverage.
They made the most of their bye week?
They did. But ECU still should have won the game.
It's frustrating. Now South Florida coming up. Igoe. Jeff Charles likes to say they look good coming off the bus.
They're a Florida team. You recruit the majority of your players from Florida, and they got a bunch of transfers, so they do look good coming off the bus. Now, the problem with them is they just get the vibe. It's not a great culture there, not a great locker room.
Probably a coach that's counting his last days, perhaps.
I mean, he just got an extension, but it's like at some point you got to win some games, man.
Yeah.
He's 4-24. He's got one FBS win. And, you look at the Florida game, I think that speaks to their talent level when they're motivated. But if you go down there and you punch them in the mouth, I don't think you're going to get much of a response.
All right. Need an early start. They have a quarterback, Bohannon.
Gary Bohannon.
At some point, you got to start throwing touchdown passes. He has 0. South Florida, the only FBS team without a touchdown pass. Having said that, under 1.5 touchdown passes. I mean, this is the week, right?
This is 100% the week.
They are due.
Not only are they due, but he has. It's not like the guy has never had success. You go back and look at his Baylor numbers. He's always been a good quarterback. Now, he's more of a dual threat than a pocket passer. So, my favorite thing about ECU fans, and I love ECU fans, but they're always like, man, we struggle against those mobile quarterbacks. We can never corral them. Well, that is the point of a mobile quarterback, right? Like, everybody struggles against them. Like, they create plays on 3rd down, and you think you have them bottled up. So, he's a little bit inconsistent as a passer accuracy-wise, but if he can get outside the pocket, he can do some damage. He ran all over Florida, career high in rushing yards, over 100 yards that game. They got a really good stable of running backs, quality offensive line. Their issue is receiver-wise. They've been pretty banged up. They should have a few of those guys back this week. But
Weaver seems to be their big target. He didn't play in the loss to Louisville, right? Billy Weaves.
Yeah, Xavier Weaver, Billy's long-lost brother. He really is a quality player, and he should be back this week. They also got a Clemson transfer, a UNC transfer, and another guy, Jimmy Horn Jr.
Joe Horn?
His name's Jimmy Horn Jr., but I think it is.
Why is his name Jimmy?
I don't know.
But is it Joe Horn's kid?
I don't know. I feel like it is, but why would it be Jimmy Horn Jr.?
Oh, okay. This guy's white.
Well, then I'm going to guess that it's not Joe Horn's son.
Okay. All right. So his name is Jimmy Horn Jr., but you're not saying we should know his dad. Or were you saying we should know his dad?
I don't know. Jimmy Horn Jr. is his name. Who's Jimmy Horn?
Jimmy cracked corn, and I don't care.
Jimmy Horn Sr.?
Let's find out who Jimmy Horn Sr. is.
That guy's totally not white. What is going on with your computer, man?
Okay, yeah, thank you for saying my computer, because that was not me. So you Googled Jimmy Horn Jr. Look at this kid.
And there was a white Jimmy Horn Jr. in a green jersey.
All right, and then you click on Jimmy Horn.
I was like, I'm pretty sure this dude is not white.
You are right. He is definitely not. He is... Where's his personal?
Wow, USF with not even coming up with a personal bio here.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing here.
You stall and I'll look it up.
All right. That is pretty hilarious. Let me click on his ESPN bio just to see if the white guy pops up. Nope. Same guy. They have Aju. Igoe. Does he play at all?
He is the Clemson transfer. By the way,
Aju. I love Aju. I love a good French dip right now.
So I'm looking on Wikipedia. Personal life for Joe Horn. It says Horn Jr. is the son of four-time Pro Bowl receiver Joe Horn.
But that's Joe Horn.
There's got to be Joe Horn Jr., who is now at Missouri Western State.
Okay, we have cracked the Horn family tree.
From what I can tell, I don't think there's any relation.
This is not Joe Horn's kid. Do you remember the Joe Horn celebration that had everybody aghast back in the day, Igoe?
Cell phone.
You remember that, Chandler? Pulled it from the, whatever you call that, around the goalpost.
Yeah, and answer the phone.
Pad,
and then he is the father of Panthers second-year guy, J.C. Horn.
There you go.
There you go. J.C. Horn, I think, is who I was thinking about.
So
not Jimmy Horn?
Not Jimmy Horn Jr. Although I really want to go to the game now and figure out if Jimmy Horn Sr. is going to be there.
Yeah, and just say, hey, who are you? What have you done in your life?
Who are you?
Mr. Jim Horn Sr.
Mr. Horn.
But when you think about it, like when you hear the name Jimmy Horn Jr., you think it's Joe Horn's son?
No, Igoe, because his name is Joe. Just say you were wrong on this one.
I was wrong.
Is he a receiver?
Yeah, he's
okay. I can see how you would start to get that in your brain.
He's a fast receiver, and he's not white.
No, he's definitely not white.
Yeah, but he's a good player.
And fast. Horn is not a name you hear a lot.
No, but it's a cool name.
Horn.
And yeah.
We're the Horns.
Joe Horn is probably my favorite Saints receiver of all time, ahead of
Marcus Colston
and Dante Stallworth and
Michael Thomas.
Definitely Michael Thomas.
I like Joe Horn all right because he was kind of a.
What about Terrence Copper?
Ooh,
Terrence Copper is my favorite Saints special team stalwart of all time.
Joe Horn was not very tall. What'd they list him at? 6'1". I think on a good day. I think he was one of those guys that didn't do anything great, but he was kind of Smitty-esque. But anyway, 4-time Pro Bowler, that Joe Horn. I'm going to name a team. You tell me your all-time favorite receiver from that team.
All right,
let's go with the Texans.
Andre Johnson.
I know, that's pretty
easy.
All right, how about the Eagles?
The Eagles.
They have not had a lot over the years. They have stunk at receiver.
I had Alshon Jeffrey for years in fantasy. Was he even good for the Eagles, or was he good for the Bears?
He was good for both, I guess.
Terrell Owens.
I never really liked T.O., but I respect him more now than I did when he played. That was a tough one I just gave you.
They really have not had good receivers.
You know who else really hasn't? But how about the Buffalo Bills?
The Buffalo Bills. I feel like they had like Josh Reed forever.
Wow, okay. How about Stevie Johnson?
Stevie Johnson was a baller. And now they've got...
I like what Stevie Johnson did. He's not a hypocrite. A lot of players thank God after a game. He blamed God one time for dropping a pass in the end zone. Said, I don't know why God would do that to me.
Stevie Johnson was he was an enigma in fantasy football as well.
Yeah, he would have some monster games and some not so great ones. All right, a couple more. Let's go AFC North. Let's go to Cincinnati. You got something to choose from there.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you almost have to go with the current iteration of receivers.
You don't have to. You got AJ Green, you got Ocho, you got Hoosh.
You say Hushman Zeta, I say Hushman Zada.
or you could go with the current guy.
I'm not a big fan of Chad Johnson.
Not a fan?
You change your name, you're a loser.
Tell you who's good, man. T. Higgins is freaking good.
What if I went Boyd? Is it Tyler Boyd?
Tyler Boyd?
Nah, I'm going to go A.J. Green. I forgot he played for the Bengals.
He was awesome. Who's your all-time favorite Broncos receiver?
Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey.
Are you old enough for them to be?
Oh, yeah, they were legends, man.
Right.
Ed McCaffrey, Mr. Always readjust his neck, smallest shoulder pads in the world.
Rod Smith is in the Joe Horn. Like, when I think of Rod Smith, I don't think of tallest, fastest. He was just like a good receiver.
Really solid, consistently productive.
All right.
Who was your favorite New York Jets receiver of all time?
Is it Wayne Corbett?
It's got to be Wayne Corbett. Because who else have they had? Braxton Berrios?
Is it Wayne Corbett? I mean, he was the first guy I thought of. Obviously, I didn't like Keyshawn. I think it's Wayne Corbett.
I mean, that's like it. It's like Keyshawn, Wayne Corbett, or
So
Robbie
who did they have? Let's think. Lavernius Coles. I'm trying to think who they had through the 2000s. Worth of
That's
darn.
about it.
Santonio Holmes went there, but I don't think he did anything when he was there. Any more questions for me? It's kind of a fun game.
Favorite Raiders receiver of all time? More
They had
recently years.
Jerry Porter, that was good for like a year. Raiders. I mean, look, Tim Brown was
a beast.
Very understated, but awesome. And I think that's where I'm going to just go with the old school Tim Brown. Of course, I could say Dwayne or Zay, but...
You could say Jerry Rice or Randy Moss, too.
Yeah, and...
I always forget they even play there.
Moss didn't do anything. That was before he went to New England and blew up, right? Because everybody's like, Moss is done. Then he goes to New England and breaks records and everything. All right, what time you got to leave?
I gotta leave at 5:35.
Oh, okay. Let's take a break, Shirley. We'll come back. We'll do some picks, little hoops talk. Igoe's hyping up a guy. The hype train's rolling. We're going to talk about it when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Greenville Utilities electric customers will soon be able to receive text notifications in the event of power outages. Enrollment is automatic, so make sure GUC has your cell phone number by signing into your account at GUC.com, then update the information in your user profile. Want to talk with someone instead? Call 252-752-7166 during business hours. 252-752-7166. Update us so we can update you. Visit GUC.com for more information.
Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers. They engineer their mowers to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers deliver professional grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. Come into Ron Ayers Motorsports to see the Hustler difference for yourself today. Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for just $2.99. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad!
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
Hey Pirates, this is Holt Nailers. A big part of my success on the field is what I eat at home. To keep my body filled up, I order meals off a Clean Eats meal plan. I choose the meals I want from 6 different meals offered each week, and I pick them up on Sunday or Monday at the cafe on Red Banks Road. Each meal is packed with the perfect mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and veggies to keep my engine running at full speed. Go to cleaneats.com, click on meal plans, or stop by the cafe and get all the info. Clean Eats and the Pirates, a winning combination.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. State Farm agent Tim Sawyer and his team are having a virtual quoting event this Thursday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Want a free quote on your home, auto, or life insurance? Call Tim and his team at 493-0002 to get a quote in less than 5 minutes. To get great coverage with great rates, call your local State Farm agent Tim Sawyer this Thursday at 493-0002. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Barat.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Quick baseball talk. Igoe getting ready for, dare I say, postseason baseball next Friday?
Yeah, the magic number is 5 for the Seattle Mariners to make the playoffs. They need either 5 wins or the Orioles to lose 5 or any combination to secure their first postseason berth since 2001.
That is insane.
It has been 20 freaking years. I became a fan in 2002, and they have not made the playoffs since.
This will be your first time watching Mariners baseball. They had to make new rules and add a team, but doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels, and with the way they're playing, they have scuffled down the stretch. Their best player's hurt. He should be back for the postseason, but they have lost series now to the Angels, A's, and Royals in a row. But luckily, the Orioles have been just as bad, so it looks like Seattle, barring a complete collapse, will still get in. And you never know, man. They got pitching. They just got to hit.
All right, Johnny Garner going way back for his Bills receiver, says Andre Reed and Don. Beep, 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 beep. Remember,
what do I call him? Josh Reed? Did Josh Reed play for the Bills too? Or is
that who you were talking about?
I think so.
Josh Reed was a receiver from LSU, but I want to say he played for the Bills also. I'll Google it up.
Andre Reed.
I know who you're talking about.
Be a little bit better than Josh Reed.
I liked. He played for the Bills for 8 seasons.
Oh. I just like Reed.
So you were thinking of the guy. Jake Reed was a good receiver for the Vikings that I was a fan of. And Johnny says for Cincinnati, here's a guy that played receiver for Cincinnati, Chris Collinsworth, man.
Was he any good in the NFL? I'm going to say
wow.
No.
Are you serious?
What?
Chris Collinsworth was good, man.
I mean, you're acting like he's a Hall of Famer or something.
I'm acting like you are being very disrespectful right now, and a lot of older Pirates might pull their subscriptions from Hoist the Colors.
What years did Chris Collinsworth play?
81-88.
How am I supposed to know I was born in 92?
3-time Pro Bowler, second team All-Pro 3 times. He was on the All-Rookie team, 3-time first All-SEC team, Florida Hall of Famer. And you're going to say, was this guy any good? Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, he was good.
Was that a Collinsworth or a
No, I don't know what. It hurt my
Was that a
throat.
Mike Patrick impression?
Holy cow. Chris Collinsworth was fantastic to watch.
Now, here's a guy who doesn't think Chris Collinsworth was any good.
Listen, man, I can't see that dude in the broadcast booth and having never watched him play football and imagine him being good at football.
Well, he was, I guess.
He must have been Ed McCaffrey before Ed McCaffrey existed.
Why you got to compare a white guy to a
Because
white
they're
guy?
both skinny white guys.
You got to stop doing
not
that,
be
man.
good football players. As a white man, I feel like I can say that.
All right, fine. Igo, let's make picks. Crap. I want to talk basketball. We got to hurry up. Igo, getting back in form. Usually we're a lot better at this. You're 9-10 overall now after a 3-2 week. I'm 8-11. We both went 3-2 last week. Real quick, you lost. We both got Navy right. I lost Tennessee. We both won Oregon State. You lost UCF. And we both lost Carolina because they got their handed to them. All right, Steven, ECU 9.5, South Florida. I'm taking the Pirates.
Pirates by 10.
Tricky one here, Steven. Houston at home -2.5 against Tulane. They're begging you to take Houston. Makes me nervous.
And I'm going to take them. I mean, I just feel like
I
they're
am
better
too.
than what they've shown. And Tulane coming off a tough loss, they're going to bounce back. I think it's going to be a competitive game. This is a Friday nighter, right?
I believe.
Cougs.
Clemson -6.5 at home against Stank.
Clemson I just don't know if they're good, but I don't know if NC State can go in there and win.
I'll tell you who is good, and if I know his name, he's good. He's a kicker. Potter. Give me Potter with a field goal to beat State. I hope that's his
So
name.
you're going NC State to cover?
Yeah, Clemson by a field goal.
I'm going Clemson.
All right. Florida State -7 against Wake. I don't need those points. I'm taking Wake to win.
Where at?
Scheduled to be in Tallahassee. We'll see.
So what's the line?
7.
FSU?
Yeah.
Wake. No. Wake at FSU is never a good thing for them. Going Knowles.
All right. And Alabama -17.5 at Arkansas. I wouldn't have put this up here, but we did have Bama at Texas. It got interesting. Arkansas is a good team coming off a tough loss where the freaking field goal hit the top of the upright. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was nuts.
Arkansas, they're trying to get you to take them here.
I'm taking Alabama.
And I'm going to take Arkansas. I feel like this is an Arkansas victory.
Interesting. Okay. Can't wait to be here next week, and I go say, why did I take Arkansas to
Probably
beat
so.
Alabama?
I said that with zero conviction because I'm trying to make myself believe that.
I've left us 1 minute to talk about your guy, Igo. You're hyping up Ezra?
Ezra Osar.
Better than Ezra. Who's better than Ezra? Igo says nobody.
That's not what I said at all.
I know, but that was the band. You know Better Than Ezra, the band?
No.
I was
It
making a
must have been-
reference.
Must have came up in the Chris Collinsworth days.
All right, tell me about Ezra while I look up the band.
Ezra Osar, he was a big recruit, very talented, 6'8", 6'9", forward. Just watching him yesterday dribble the ball and run, like his ball handling skills for a big guy are rare. He can shoot. He's just got the tools to be kind of that complete four-man, and if it comes together from a maturity standpoint, I think he could be a really special player.
Interesting. All right, and he is true Frosh.
He's true
and
Frosh.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Remember that song?
Oh, yeah, that's a banger, man.
Better Than Ezra. All right, turned you on.
Definitely a one-hit wonder.
Look, I'm here to educate the youngsters out there that Chris Collinsworth was good. Better Than Ezra had a hit. And that's all I got today. Steven, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Check out hoistthecolors.net. Igo not making the trip, so we could have another in-studio visit Saturday on the Bud Light pregame
You better
tailgate.
be here, Chandler. No more skipping.
There you go. Thank you. Shirley, open up the booty bag for me, please, ma'am.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
What are we giving away, Shirley? Rhodes.
$15 gift card to Wings over Greenville.
Igoe, what do you get from Wings Over?
West Texas Mesquite all day.
West Texas Mesquite. All right, interesting. All right, he says they're delish.
Do it.
What call are we looking for?
12.
Caller 12, 317-1250. We're back with more Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday after these words.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night along with football. Monday is open mic night the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
Are you ready for some football, Pirate Nation? Bud Light is America's favorite light beer and the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times this football season, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there's fun. Because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Get ready to have fun this season, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Do you have an old injury or just some pain that keeps holding you back? It's time for you to get better. With Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we can help you get your life back. Whether you need to get back to a sport, back in the gym, or just back to enjoying life, our team of specialists use a one-on-one, hands-on approach in our state-of-the-art facility to get you back moving again. Don't settle for where you are. Don't stay in pain. Visit kptonline.com today to see how Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With homes in Blackwood, Mills Creek, Dalton's Cove and Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, they're constantly expanding. Now to Laurel Glen and Sarah's Way, plus the new duplex community at Abigail Trails. BMS Builders can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or ECU football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes and they can build yours as well. Call 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Hey, Pirate Nation, this is Brian Buck with Buck Insurance Agency. This season, when you attend your favorite sporting event, take the game day pledge. If your team is playing, win or lose, support your team to the end of the game. When you leave early, you risk missing your favorite athlete making the play of their career. When our family buys a ticket, we always plan to stay to the very end. Take the game day pledge this season with Buck Insurance Agency. Play to the end, stay to the end.
CD's Grill on Fire Tower Road in Winterville is now open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. You heard right. CD's Grill is now open for dinner. CD's Grill is famous for its great breakfasts, terrific country cooking lunch specials, and now CD's Grill is open for dinner Monday through Friday and for breakfast on Saturday. CD's Grill has great Carolina cheeseburgers and an 18-item salad bar. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, and now dinner, make it CD's Grill on Fire Tower Road in Winterville, the best country cooking around.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Rajay Harris, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact the team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank, located on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. And congratulations to Kendall Paramore of Ayden.
KP.
KP. Picked up a $15 gift card to Wings Over Greenville if you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home. Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. They have their own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the mobile app. And they are open till 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, which means Wings Over has everything to cure those late-night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville, they deliver. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday. Coming up Thursday on the show, we're going to do a lot of analyzing. Because we're going to talk to some analysts.
Are they good? Are they good guys?
I'm going to say they're both good guys.
Are they in tough leagues?
Why do you sound like you're in like a... Try again.
Are they in tough leagues?
I want to hear that booming, that beautiful booming voice you got there.
Are they in tough leagues?
They are. They're in tough leagues. One of them dropped the two sweetest words you can hear during a football game on the broadcast when I was listening last week.
Ball out.
Ball out. Funny, Chandler, when that happened. I tweeted ball. I Googled a picture. I Googled Kevin Monroe, ECU. Found a picture of him. He's wearing like a suit, a tux, like a tux thing almost, like a suit. And I tweeted ball out and a picture of him. And I got a couple likes here, and then I got a follow. And it said, Kevin Monroe follows you. First of all, I'm going to ask why he wasn't following me sooner. But secondly, I like how he's following me like during a football game, like right after the play. He followed me on Twitter. Kind of strange. I wonder if he's still following me after seeing, because things kind of take a turn on Sundays for me when the Commanders are on.
You go rogue.
I mean,
you go absolutely ape crap on Twitter.
And I'm also, in the rare sense that it happens, it's the highest of highs. If they beat the Cowboys this Sunday, you won't be able to tell me nothing.
No, sir.
But if it goes like I think it's going to go, it's going to be a miserable day, an awful day. And a couple things. I like being funny. I like making people laugh. So I like putting my thoughts out for those reasons. But also, it's kind of like a diary. It's a public diary, but it feels good to get those words out sometimes and to let it out. Because, I don't want to say those things to my daughter or to my wife, and they don't care. So I need to get it out so I can act like a normal human to them on Sundays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, anyway, I'm sure I have a lot of people like follow me during the week when we're doing pirate radio, pirate stuff, and then when they see that stuff on the weekend, they're like, "Oh my God, this guy's a psychopath, a vulgar, this guy's a degenerate, scum of the earth." So anyway,
well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of following, you should follow us at Pirate Radio. You also should smash the like, smash the sub. But let me tell you something. I am proud today.
Why?
I am proud.
Why?
To say that there is now there's only 4 more people watching than liked on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, we've had a good like day.
That's a good like day.
If we could get that number up a little bit more before we wrap up, that'd be great.
And then on Facebook, we have done a really good job there. I want to always improve, but on Facebook, we have more likes than people watching, which is awesome. But just like we want you to smash the like and smash the sub, we want you to give Tim Sawyer a call tomorrow for his quote day for State Farm. So give him a call, 252-493-0002. So, yeah, Tim Sawyer and his crew are excited for tomorrow. I had lunch with him last week. So take advantage. Give him a call tomorrow for free quote day.
Awesome.
Clip, I just have a couple of news items I need to pass along. One in the area of breaking news. Emergency responders are on the scene of a plane crash in the area of County Home Road.
Oh,
so
wow.
they are asking people that if you are traveling towards that area to stay clear of that area. So you'll need to change your travel direction if you usually take that road home. Although it does not appear to be any fatalities. It looks like 2 people have minor injuries, which is good news. But they are on the scene, so it's going to take a little time to clear that area out. And then on the sports side of things, Alec Burleson will play in the final regular season game for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he will be playing first base tonight in place of Albert Pujols.
Why did you say the final regular season game?
I'm sorry. I misread that. It was the final regular season start for their pitcher. And I misread that. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
They got more games.
Yeah.
But
he is in the lineup tonight, but he will
Awesome.
be playing first base.
And I wonder.
And that's his natural position, really. I mean, he played first base for ECU.
And you tried to play, in the outfield so he could maybe get more looks. And,
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of hard hitting first basemen, and if you could make it as an outfielder and play defense, you can find the lineup easier. I wonder if he's going to make the playoff roster. I guess there's a shot for him. That would be pretty
it's
cool.
a shot because don't they expand the roster when they get closer to playoff time, or am I misunderstanding?
Well, they expanded at the end of the regular season.
Okay.
And somebody can correct me or help us out here. I'll look at MLB playoff rosters. But, man, that would be cool to have him. I got to say, I hate the Cardinals. But it's not the first time I've been in this situation with Dwayne going to Dallas and Dwayne going to the Giants. And I got to hope he does well while I hate their team's guts. But I could just see Burley, coming up against the Braves, pinch hitting a bomb and winning. And the mixed emotions I would have in that case would be gross.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, postseason rules. Teams submit a 26-man roster. It was 25 prior to 2020. So, that is what I'm seeing right now. So, yeah, I don't know if he would get a spot there. But, man, it's awesome that he's been up here late in the year. And now, also, is he opening day roster 2023? Is he going to be one of the guys? Will obviously be in the big league training camp, playing some spring training games. But what are the Cardinals' plans for him next year? So, been really awesome to keep an eye on Burley, and as Shirley said, he'll be in the lineup tonight.
And that was one of my questions because of the fact that Albert Pujols is not returning. Do they have somebody in that first base slot that could take Albert's place? Now, are they grooming Alec to be in that spot, or would they rather just keep him in the outfield? Because that outfield was stacked for a while until injuries kind of took over, where you would expect that those guys would be coming back at some point, which means that there's one less position for Alec to play. So that's going to be a good question to ask as far as whether or not he will be back with the Cardinals at the beginning of the season or if he's going to stay in AAA. And, I mean, you might as well have called him the league batting champ for AAA this year because he was absolutely killing it. Although he was not named the minor league player of the year, that belongs to Gunnar Henderson.
Orioles
for the Orioles.
Yeah.
So, and I believe he's only the second Oriole for quite some time that has won that title. So, promising farm systems for the Orioles and for the Cardinals.
No doubt. We were talking about Chris Collinsworth earlier. Igoe said, was he any good? And I didn't see much of Collinsworth. I remember the Bengals-Niners Super Bowl. I don't know what year it was, but I remember watching it at my friend's house with my parents, like at a little party type thing. And so I didn't really watch him play, but I knew he was good. But it did kind of catch me off guard that Igoe would ask it in that way. Matt says he's definitely not good in the broadcasting booth.
I enjoy it.
I disagree. I think Collinsworth is annoying, and sometimes his voice and the way, but I think he is a very good analyst. I like Collinsworth, and I like Tirico. I like that team on Sunday Night Football now.
I'm a big fan of Mike Tirico, and when he went away from Monday Night Football, I was very bummed out. He was in Monday Night Football back when I was in high school, so I really enjoyed him in my younger days.
Him and Gruden, and was it a three-man booth, or was it just them two?
I think it was just him and Gruden.
He was on the call for the Redskins swinging gate punt type thing where they faked this punt twice in a row and it didn't work, and they they were like, Gruden was laughing at him, and Mike Tirico said, "What in the wild world of sports is this?" They were like just openly mocking my team, and it was very sad. So Chandler, who is an announcer now, an analyst that played before your time that you can say, was he good to me? Like, think of a guy. Think of an analyst you didn't.
Tony Romo.
You watched him play, but
that I didn't.
that you
watch
didn't
play?
watch play. And yes, I would say Tony Romo was good.
Boy.
I would think because of your age, I would say somebody like Troy Aikman.
Yeah,
Aikman.
And
I would say that he was good.
And
He
he's
was
got the
good.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Boomer Esiason, you never saw play.
No.
Phil Simms.
Chris Carter.
Ugh. Chris Carter?
Chris Carter was.
You need to. You like YouTubing people?
You need to YouTube him.
Me and my friend used to play ball in the yard, and we would always, my parents had shrubs, and my mom hated it, but we would do sideline catches where we just have our toes, and land into the bushes and ruin them. Chris Carter was the best at the sideline catches, and somehow getting those 2 feet in bounds, he was awesome.
Him and Hines Ward both were really, really good at that.
So Chris Carter would be some good YouTube highlights to look up.
Here's a guy
Okay.
that I've been watching for years, watching on Fox NFL Sunday on the pregame show, Howie Long.
That was that was before my time.
Dude was a beast.
Yeah.
He was an absolute animal. I mean, he fit right in with that, black hole with the Raiders and that kind of attitude.
The hair, the mohawk or hair, whatever.
Yeah,
kind
the
of
hair that he had, the crew
it's called.
cut. He was pretty good.
And I watched Strahan at the tail end of his career, but I was very, very young. But I do remember how dominant him and that Giants defensive line
They
was.
always had a good defensive line, it seemed like.
What was the defensive end's name? Ewan Sama?
O.C. Umenyiora.
Oh, yeah. O.C. Umenyiora. Whatever.
O.C. Umenyiora.
Umenyiora.
And they had Justin Tuck. He was a badass. So they had some studs. All right, we got to get one more break in. If we can get that break in, Shirley. What do you got?
Somebody brought up Dan Fouts.
You know what? When I was thinking about this, asking Chandler, I was thinking of Bob Greasy, Dan Fouts, like people that were on TV when I was a kid that I never saw play.
And I want to say, hold on, I need to look him up because I get him confused with somebody else, and I want to make sure.
Kathy Lee's husband, Frank Gifford.
No.
Oh, no, I'm speaking of something different.
Oh,
Frank
okay.
Gifford and Dan Deerdorf were with Al Michaels on Monday Night Football when I was watching.
No,
And
that wasn't it. It was
Are you talking to yourself?
Let's see.
Dick Butkus.
You're thinking about Dick Butkus?
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
He was on like a kids TV show when I was younger.
We talked about Dick Butkus at the beginning of this
That we
program.
Did he? I thought he did some television work though, didn't he?
Nah, not that I recall.
Mike Ditka did. Mike Ditka was on Monday Night NFL Countdown.
No, I was thinking no.
Take me to break.
Oh, okay.
Take me to break.
Film and television career. Celebrity endorser, broadcaster. Yes, he was.
What TV show was he on?
Hold on one second. He was in several, actually. He was in several films. Get this: The Longest Yard, the '74 edition. Johnny Dangerously, which I adored. I thought that was a great movie. Hamburger, the motion picture.
He was in Hamburger?
Yes.
I thought he was in Hamburger.
Gremlins 2.
I had to pay for cheeseburger.
Necessary Roughness. Any given Sunday. He was a regular character on TV shows like Blue Thunder, My Two Dads, MacGyver, and Hang Time.
Hang Time. That was the one I was thinking of. He was the coach.
Yes, he also made appearances on Murder, She Wrote. He was in Brian's Song.
Are you doing a book report?
No, I'm trying to find the daggone NFL Today. He was on the pregame show because he replaced Jimmy the Greek Snyder on CBS.
All right, now we're going way back. That was before my time.
That's what I was trying to remember because I knew I had seen him on TV before and I just couldn't remember
You've
where.
seen him on everything.
Shirley knew it.
He's been on everything, it sounds like.
He's been on that. He was in Hamburger.
Hamburger. And he was on Twitter last night. Go check it out if you missed it. Just go to the Bears Twitter, and he did some funny stuff up there.
Oh.
All right. We'll be back and wrap up Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday after this.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Jeff, how's the service department?
Service is going great. Like I told you before, 2022 is the year of the customer. We've been voted #1 dealership in Greenville for 3 years in a row, and there's a reason why. For service, we still offer free pickup and drop-off, so we're trying to make it super convenient for the customer. And right now, our customers are repairing their vehicles more than ever.
How can people make a service appointment?
They can go to brownwood.net or dial 355-6080.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at Arc Point Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust Arc Point Labs to give you quick and accurate results for your laboratory testing needs. Arc Point Labs provides insights and solutions to enable individuals, businesses, and communities to make informed decisions on their health, safety, and well-being. Visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina Arc Point Labs locations or go to arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? You can learn about the benefits of CBD right here in Greenville at the Hemp Garden. Hemp Garden offers a variety of products and solutions that are truly making a difference in our community. Hemp Garden also provides products that can assist with energy and focus. Have a pet? Come check out their selection of CBD pet products. Visit Hemp Garden to speak with a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients.
Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road in Winterville and a new location coming soon to Uptown Greenville. Are you looking for a home loan? Look no further than Amy Goss at Guild Mortgage. Since 1960, Guild Mortgage has partnered with industry professionals to close loans on time and help millions of Americans realize their dreams. Call Amy Goss at Guild Mortgage in Jacksonville, 910-389-4602. Amy Goss is licensed in Florida, Georgia, Maine, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS 3274. NMLSconsumeraccess.org / for licensing information. Please visit guildmortgage.com / licensing. Guild Mortgage is not affiliated with Pirate Radio.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
All righty, wrapping up a Wednesday edition of PRL. Thanks for tuning in today. We're back with you Thursday for an all-new edition of PRL. Kevin Monroe going to talk football. Cy Seymour going to talk hoops. Got that. Troy D, touchdown. Tony Collins, big man on campus. And all your favorite Pirate Radio personalities, -1. For all you Man of Chan fans, you're going to have to wait till Friday because the Chandler is on call for high school football. So, Chandler, we will see you Friday. Shirley, we'll talk to you Thursday, 3 o'clock on an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville,